Welcome back, guys, to the Trenton Chappell live show. Today's guest, let me tell you, he's a real piece of work. I'll tell you that. I've known this man how many years now? Like since 2020, right? We'll figure it out. He is the lead actor in my film Clyde. He's an actor in my new film, The Vermin Within. Streamer, DJ, good friend of mine, Jonah Christian. Welcome to the show, Jonah. How are you?
Thank you for having me, Trenton, man. Thank you for having me.
Uh,
I also would like to say Playboy anthropist as well.
yes, Playboy, billionaire, philanthropist.
I think you forgot.
Yeah, I forgot a few things. Uh,
Damn right.
I want to thank you for joining me today. This is a podcast I've been wanting to do for some time. Is talking to you about working together. You know, I think you're one of the many actors that's gotten the opportunity to be on a Trenton Chappell set, be part of a production, be part of two productions, mind you, and I want to share that experience. So
Hmm.
let's start from the beginning. So Clyde, you're the lead actor in Clyde. You are Clyde. Uh,
Yes.
the story goes is that we picked somebody else. We picked somebody else, and he didn't show
Yeah,
up to
I
set.
was.
He didn't show up
Sorry,
to
I didn't
set.
mean to laugh.
No, you're good, man. I think it's funny too. He didn't show up to set, and so I was like, I need a new guy, and it was between you and
Yeah.
one other guy, and I was gonna go with the
A
other
chump
guy.
from what I remember. Yes.
The other guy was way better than you,
Yeah.
but I picked
Yeah.
you.
That's. I mean, I knew it. I mean, I knew I had a feeling. You told me about the other guy and everything. You told me he lived in Austin. I seeked him out. I found him. He's
Yes,
gone. I'm
he's
in.
gone. Yes,
That's
you auditioned.
that's how that worked.
But what really captivated me to you was that you can do the stare. There's a stare in the film that we really needed to knock out of the park, and you
Mm,
did it. You had that creepy face, your creepy beady little eyes. Just look at
mm,
this. Look at that face in that
yeah.
in the video. Uh, you had it, and so I told the
Hmm.
other guy, I'm so sorry, we can't work with you. We're gonna go with this guy who's never acted before.
We found someone so much better. Wait,
So
what?
I want to get your
Whoa,
reaction to that.
hold
Like,
on. Okay.
what was it
Sorry.
like
Yeah. So
getting the
my
role?
reaction to the taking the role. So from my perspective of it is I saw the casting call for it. Actually, let me rewind a little bit more from that. I saw some of the preview stuff with the original first guy and everything. I'd seen you post on some of the Facebook groups and everything. I saw it and I was like, oh, if only that could be me. And then a couple, whatever happened and everything. And
Yeah.
then I saw your casting on online, and I just said, oh, why not? And the auditioning process was like it was interesting. Like I've a lot of the auditions I've done is more so in person. So I think that was like the first like Zoom
Yeah.
audition I'd ever done, which I knew in this new age, I just was like, I'm gonna hate those so much. Like I
I
know
hate him
it's gonna
too.
happen.
I
I
hate him
can't
too.
fight it. I'm just gonna hate them, But I mean, I understand indie projects. It's not like we have this whole casting room or whatever and
Yeah.
everything. And then I remember we did the audition, and I felt good about the audition. I really did. And I don't remember how long afterwards, but they're like, "You got it," and I was like, "Obvious."
I think it was a few days
Yeah.
because I literally had to sit here. It was me that had to pick. It was my project by myself, and I remember
Hmm.
even with the Vermin Within movie, right? I remember having to sit there and watching because we recorded all the auditions. I was sitting there
Hmm.
watching just over and over, like, do they have it? Do they have what I'm looking for? And it's funny that you say like, we were auditioning for the lead role before we even casted the guy, and the lead role Clyde character was the least desirable character getting
That's right.
auditions. We were getting the Elaine character. The therapist character was really high up in there, but no one wanted to be the lead. In fact, people wanted to be Nick's character, Daniel, who had like 4 lines. People wanted
Yeah.
that one. And I'm like, no one wants to be the lead. I feel like that's like the one you go for. And then once we had to get rid of the other actor, we posted it again. Hey, I need the lead guy. That's when I started
Mhm.
getting stuff in my inbox. And you were one of them. We had a few other guys, very talented, let me tell you. It was a very hard decision. And when I look for my actors, I don't just look for can they do the role. I look
Mhm.
for are they the role, and are they going to vibe with the cast, right?
Yeah.
And so that's what led to. I was like, all right, this guy seems like a cool guy. It's a fairly young crew, and yeah, there you go. You got the role.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
I,
honestly, too, I kind of who because I think I know who was originally supposed to be the therapist, but who was originally the
it
therapist?
was gonna be my dad.
Yes, yeah, that's who I thought it was.
Yeah,
And
we
I
recorded
mean,
scenes with him in it, and
yeah,
I told
because
him he sucked. I was like, "You're terrible, Dad."
yeah, that was some of the promo shots was with your dad and the original actor that I had seen originally and everything. Then you later told me he's like, oh yeah, that was my dad and everything. And yeah, no, no shots at your dad or anything like that. But I think that though initially it may have been an annoying process of like, oh, this actor I have to get rid of and everything and all that.
Yeah,
With more that lead time you had to recast and get a more like confident thing going on and everything. Like it was a blessing in disguise
yeah.
because I mean.
Because I was looking for somebody who was actually wanting to be an actor.
Mhm.
You know, with my films, I typically branch out to more first-time actors,
Mhm.
actors who've done one thing,
Mhm.
um, so I can build with them. I want to
Mhm.
build these guys, and I remember casting you. Haven't met you yet. Only way we've
Yep.
met is over Zoom on the edition, and
Over
then when
Zoom.
I think I emailed you saying, "Hey, you got the role. Meet me here."
Hmm.
So I was like, "All right." I just gave this guy an address. I know that Kelsey's going to be with me. I
Yep.
know that April's going to be with me. So I know that if something goes down with this guy, I have 2 witnesses.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I
So
get you.
you show up, and that's when we first meet. And I think the first words I told you were, "Hi, don't fuck up my movie."
Yeah, yeah. That was quite and funny little back. I might have told you this that day of, but little funny backstory. Like right before I bumped into you, I just got done online paying like a ticket. Like
Hmm.
a ticket for late registration and everything. I do that. I'm really mad about it because I got caught with it. Come out, hi, don't fuck up my movie. And I just was like, now
But
is
then
not the time for this.
what's funny though is like I told that like when we did the table read because I do a table read with all my films.
Hmm.
Um, that was the first thing I told the original cast, Kelsey and all
Yep.
them. I said, "Do not fuck up my movie." And I was with
Hmm.
my parents because my parents were in the movie at the time,
Yep.
and they go, "Whoa!" And I think I even say that to the Vermin Within crew at that thing.
No, I don't think you did.
Uh,
I don't think you
I
did
I,
that to
I
them.
got nicer.
Yeah, yeah. You went too easy on
I
them.
went too easy on them to be honest. Yeah. Uh, but you get the role. Day
Yep.
one shooting. How did you feel about it?
I felt good. I felt confident. Well, okay, I shouldn't say confident. I remember thinking with some of the scenes like being right next to Kelsey doing my scenes and everything. Honestly, I like the way Kelsey was doing her stuff and everything, and then I was doing my stuff. And after the scenes, I was like, boy, I think I'm gonna kind of suck at this and everything. That just became my fear. Was like the movie's fine. I just am worried about me and
Yeah.
everything. And that's where I was at. I think in one of the scenes, because funny enough, when you invited me to this, I was like, I should probably rewatch Clyde so I can get a better idea of some of the stuff so I
Yeah.
could talk about it. So I rewatched Clyde last night,
No.
and I remember the scene where my character meets Kelsey's character in that flashback scene
Yep.
and everything. And I remember like kind of, I mean, this was just me. I was kind of just like a little cringy at it because I remember being like, I
Wasn't
remember
that
we did it.
that was day one?
That was day one. That was day one. And I remember cringing at that scene, watching it because I remember like, oh, I do look kind of weird on that. And I remember when we recorded it, the scene was over. You were like, man, that was kind of weird. And I was like, do you want to do it again? He's like, nah, it's fine. And I was like, oh no. So
Yeah,
yeah, no, I appreciate that.
because I rewatch Clyde too. Like I try to watch Clyde every
Clyde
year.
2, there's a sequel in the works.
There's
What?
a sequel.
Yes.
No, I try to watch it every year because I want to learn from it. And I'm not gonna. I think I've told you this. I think Clyde
Okay.
sucks ass. Like compared to the Vermin Within to this one, because those are my two narrative films. The Vermin Within blows Clyde out. Like, bro, is out of the park.
I am of the opposite opinion. I'm sorry.
You think Clyde was better?
I think Clyde character wise is better, and
Really?
I'm always more interested in character stuff. And I do remember when we were going over Clyde, and you were telling me kind of like the inspirations from like Taxi Driver and everything, and also you're putting your own personal life experience into it and everything. I definitely feel that a lot with the characters in Clyde, and that's what like really gets me with a lot of the stuff and everything. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, they're both Clyde and Vermin are like more on the horror like umbrella and everything and all that. Which, but at the same time though, they are two different types of horror,
Very different.
which very different types of horror and everything. Where Clyde is more of the character perspective, which I always favor.
Yeah.
I go watch a horror movie if there's a big, like, I watched Friday the 13th for the first time a couple years ago.
Wow.
I didn't really like it very much
Hmm.
and everything, so I just don't think I'm too into those films. So that's
Hmm.
why, I mean, I understand why you like Vermin Within more than Clyde and
It's just
everything,
like
but
from
I'm over here like I like Clyde more.
like don't get me wrong. I think like I agree with you on some points. Like I feel
Yeah.
like the emotion is more in Clyde.
Mm.
It's a more of a dramatic type take on the horror thriller
Yeah.
genre. It was a short film too. Like I even thought about remaking Clyde and putting more stuff into it, but I was like, I can't get the actors back.
Says you.
I think I can get you back. And then I was like, that's when we were teasing like a sequel for it. Maybe we'll do a Clyde 2, maybe revamp the whole thing. But I think that
I won't work with
character,
Nick again. Nick him out. No, you can't bring back.
dude. I love him, dude. All right, let's go. I want to talk about Nick real quick. Nick is an
Okay,
angel.
let's hear about Nick.
Nick is an angel.
That son of a gun.
All right, let me tell you, I could not find anybody good for that role.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just didn't like anybody. I didn't think they matched well with Kelsey.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't look like a couple. And then I looked at a picture of Nick and her, and I was like, that can work.
Yeah.
And I remember texting Nick. I haven't talked to Nick since high school. Me and him went to high school together.
Oh, okay.
And I texted him and said, hey, do you remember that favor you owed me? Because
Oh,
there was
okay.
one day he had he didn't have his car broke down. So I went and like took him home from school. And he says, I owe you one. And I was like, okay. And so I texted, do you remember that favor you owed me? And he's like, oh shit, what? I said, I need you to play this character in my movie. And he's like, all right. So we met at a restaurant. He read the script and he's like, okay, I can get into this. Since then, he's like, I am not acting in your movies anymore. He goes, that was the most stressful thing I've ever done in my life. But Nick's an angel. He didn't have to do it, and he did it, and I respect him still to this day for that.
No, that is really cool of him. Yeah, Nick was a blast. Nick definitely had a really good sense of humor because
did.
I'm not a method actor by any means.
He got into it.
Yeah, but when it came down to the whole, like, it's just like this, I was like, if I was gonna have any methodness of it and everything, I just was like, I don't know this dude, but he seems really cool enough to where I can like
Yeah.
joke around, where he understands that, like, even off camera, I'm going to be a dick to him.
Yes.
And I think he'd understand that and have a good time. I think I recall I know I'm jumping the ship or jumping the gun on some of these parts and everything, but I hope you still have it, or I think you might have told me you don't have it anymore. But the one scene where it's like a flashback scene and everything, where
Oh,
it's me
at the
and
bar?
Kelsey
Or
at the bar, yeah, or at the restaurant and everything.
And
Kelsey
he
and I are
like,
sitting.
you went like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah. And like the whole idea was just like we're having this whole conversation, but it's not being heard or anything
I
like
think I
that.
still
And
have it.
you gotta bring it out. You gotta reveal. You gotta do the behind the scenes, because me just going like, I want your head on a platter and
Yeah.
everything, and your mom and dad just lost their mind
Because they had a
laughing at
cameo in
that.
that scene too.
Yeah, they did. It was I really wanted to see that.
Yeah. And I feel like that whole like that was my first time actually working with actors too.
Hmm.
You know, for the longest time I was doing short films by myself. I was the actor in them.
Yep.
Documentaries, I was working with my friends as cameramen and my
Hmm.
parents, and I was like, I need to branch out and work with actors and get my experience in with actors. And I try to thrive myself as a actor director, like because during Vermin we had Sam and he was phenomenal. You know, he made the movie better, 100%.
Hmm.
And he was more camera director
Hmm.
when he was on set with us, and I was more with the actors. And it's like, hey, this is how I do this motion. Um, let's try to be like, let's talk like this, do like this. Uh, but I feel like acting is so hard. I don't know how you guys do it. How do you act, how do you just roll up to set and just go?
Well, when it came down for like so for, I mean, I guess I'll start with the shorter story first and everything. So, or I don't know. Do you want me to jump into Vermin Within stuff?
Let's stay on Clyde,
Stay on Clyde.
and
Okay,
then we'll
cool.
jump back into this with Vermin,
Okay,
because
cool.
Vermin's gonna be a
So,
big moment. All right,
gotcha.
Vermin's Vermin.
Gotcha. So with Clyde, it was very much like so. I guess the whole point of you being like, why does nobody want to be the main character?
Yeah.
Well, when you're given a description of like, disturbed person and
Yes.
everything, disturbed killer, whatever, and everything. Like, I guess to the average person, it's just like, oh, I want to be the hero. I don't
Yep.
I don't want to I don't want to play the bad guy and everything.
And there's not really a hero in this film.
No, there's no hero.
No hero at all.
Nah, not a one. And like I remember just like reading it and like this, I mean, this isn't always like the greatest feeling in the world, but like it's something I own and everything. But when I say like, disturbed looking person and everything, I was like, disturbed looking person. All right, I have a shot, so I guess so. A long way of me saying like a lot of it I could tell was just more physicalness. Like if I can capture the physicalness of someone like Clyde, I feel like the rest will fill in on itself
Hmm.
because I also did take a little bit for my own personal life of like Clyde. There's people that like I thought of just being like not exactly the same, but still kind of like in the basket case situation
Yeah.
where so that kind of got to me. So I went over it and everything, and then when I just came to on set and everything, it just everything I did came out as naturally as
Yeah.
looking back as much as I felt like I did.
Yeah. I remember when we were filming the therapy scenes.
Hmm.
That was a very, I feel like that day was a very like emotional, character driven day.
Hmm.
Because I told you, I was like, listen, I want you to go all out for this.
Hmm.
You're working with Kevin. Kevin is an experienced actor. I was
Yep.
very fortunate. I was very lucky and fortunate to get him on the film. Um, and I mean, I'm not gonna bash Kevin. He could have come
Okay.
prepared, but he did very good. I'm not gonna sit here and
Oh,
tell him.
I see what you mean. Yeah, no, I mean honestly,
Like I hear people when they watch the film, I always say, "Hey, watch Clyde, and then watch like, just watch Clyde, right?"
mhm,
And they watch it. I don't tell them anything about the movie. I don't tell them, "Oh yeah, Jonah's been acting for 16 years." I don't tell them
yep.
like, "This is Kelsey." Like I don't tell them anything. They watch it, and they don't know who these people are in this film. And when I get back feedback, I was like, "Let me reviews. How did you think about the actors?" When I get back feedback that, "Oh yeah, Jonah was really good. Jonah was the best part. Kelsey was okay. Kevin, he could have done more." I felt like he was just learning. Like I had a review. Somebody said
Mhm.
that they thought that Kevin learned the lines that day, and I'm not gonna say anything because I love
Okay.
Kevin.
Okay.
Uh, but I'm shocked when I hear like, oh, Jonah was the best part. Jonah, and I'm
Mhm.
sitting here going, well, I'm taking all the credit for that because this is his first freaking project.
Mhm.
How do you feel about that when people say? Because I think you were there one time when people said you were the best part.
Yeah, no, that was cool. I mean, like when you hear that, like, because I think it was when the premiere for Clyde happened, everyone watched it. It's just like, oh, you're the best part. It's just like, oh, you're all just saying that because you're right here
Yeah.
and all that and yada yada yada. But like, then I remember we met up not too long after it had been been out for a while, and you kept on saying it's just like, yeah, no, people are like putting you at the top and everything and like going out of their way complimenting you. I was like, oh dang, that's really cool. Because
Yep.
the entire time before it, like I'm very insecure about like just everything I do. You know,
Hmm.
there's just always a point where I'm just like, I don't think that was as good as I think it was and everything. And but you know, I did it and I'm just got to live with it. And
Like,
then
I feel like
it's
with
good.
me, with me as a director, I feel like with Clyde, I was learning how to direct people and work with people.
Yeah.
With Vermin, I became more honest with people, and I'd tell them like, "You sucked, right? Like that was a bad take. Let's do it again."
I heard that all day, yeah.
Um, because you sucked.
And I sucked.
No, no, no. We'll get into Vermin in a second. I actually really liked how you did your character, but
Hmm.
I was too scared to tell these people. One, I just met some of these people.
Yeah.
You know, I was too scared to tell them, "Hey, be better at this. Do this." Now I feel like I got that in the bag. I
Hmm.
go with Michael, for example. I can only compare you to Michael because you guys were two leads.
Yep.
I was bashing Michael all the freaking time.
Hmm.
I was like, "That's not good. Can you like do something better? Do something better." And so I feel like we've both grown, and I kind of like that because it was one. It was my first film directing you.
Yep.
It was your first acting gig.
Hmm.
Kelsey had some prior acting.
Yep.
Kevin had some prior acting. I guess you could count Nick in there, but he didn't want to be an actor. Even my mom had prior acting, and she was in the
Hmm.
film.
Yeah, you were the harshest on her.
I was the harshest on her.
But I will say your mother is such a freaking diva. My
She
goodness.
was, dude. Cat. Oh my gosh, some of the things,
Yeah.
man. I was about to fire her and be like, "All right, April, you
Oh
step
my.
in."
No, no,
Because
no.
the original reason why we got April, because she was technically going to be like an assistant director, assistant type of stuff. Well, the original thing was I was going to have her be the neighbor, and I was going to
Yep.
tell her that day, "Hey, you're the neighbor, by the way." And then my mom
Hmm.
was like, "I'll do it."
Yeah.
But I just feel like I liked how me and you have grown together in this together. I've always said, I even told you, I was like, I want you in my movies, in all my movies, but I'm gonna put you in
Hmm.
worser and worse scenarios.
Yeah, that's right.
Because the first one, let's talk about Clyde with your hair.
Yeah, man.
So
All
you had
right.
your hair up, right?
Yeah, yeah. Now I do.
But
Now I have that freedom.
I had you put your hair down
Yep.
because I felt like with your character being one military background,
Yep.
also disturbed, mentally
Yep.
not there, I don't think you would have
Hmm.
cared about his hair.
Yeah. I okay, so the one thing I agreed when it comes down to the parts when like I'm going through it, Clyde's going through it, like having down the dumps, girlfriend, fiance breaking up, all that stuff and everything. I totally agree with you there. The only time I was like, can I style my hair,
No,
please? And you were like, no, was the flashback to when I first met Kelsey's character and everything, which I was just like, well, this was before all the bad stuff happened and everything, so maybe he would care more and everything. And you said no. And you said, shut up, dumb actor. I'm the director. It is my film. You will not steamroll me on this. And I was like, all right, fine.
oh my gosh, but
Word for
I
word.
kind of get what you're saying about like the flashback stuff, right? But I was like, I
Yeah.
just feel like that's just Clyde, you know?
Mm.
He's not like he doesn't really care. He's free,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Uh, how did you feel about working with Kelsey?
Kelsey was great. I liked working with Kelsey. Kelsey was all business, and I
She
appreciate
was.
that. I you know, there's so like I've done theater and all that, and also going through college working with actors and like I don't have like a nightmare story, but there are times where you know the personal life that was supposed to be going on outside of you know work and everything, the film and everything was brought into work, and it's just annoying. Like it seems kind of mean
Yeah.
to not be considerate to it, but at the same time, it's like I didn't come here to listen or to take that in and everything. I came here to do this film. So can we all just get back to it? And Kelsey, like, if she, I don't know what was going on in Kelsey's life, you
No,
know,
no idea.
outside of the film. Like, not that I was asking for it, but
And like
like,
I
it's just like,
tried to like, but like I want you guys to talk to us, you know? I with
mhm.
on my sets, I want you guys to be friends. I
Yeah,
want you like we did a lot with Furman, not so with you and Devin and all that, but
mhm.
like with the leads, we went out and did stuff. I wanted that
Yeah,
chemistry, and eventually that led to something with our two lead actors, and I take full credit for it. But you know, you two, you know, you and Kelsey, right off the bat,
Hmm.
had good chemistry together. You
Yeah.
guys were joking around
Oh yeah.
and just like doing that. And I was like, okay, perfect. I'm glad that there was some chemistry there.
Yeah.
Did you have
Yeah.
a on set crush with her?
No, 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 no. Not
That's
not
good to
not
hear.
not saying not saying anything, negative to that. I remember it's funny enough, I remember my cousin saw the movie and he was like, "Hey, that lady in that movie, she's pretty cute. Were you interested in her?" And I was just laughing. I was just like, "No, it's just yeah, like I said, it's to me it's, whether I be working at a convenience store, fast food restaurant, or
It's a coworker.
whatever, coworker, and not to give too much of my personal life away, but just learn, like, you know what? Let's leave that alone. I came here to make that money.
That's
Funny
right.
enough, whatever. Anyway, and
Hey, listen. Don't you out me on that.
oh no, no, no! You paid me an exposure. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I'm
Listen,
making
you
more,
got,
making
bro.
making that green exposure right now.
But guess what? Guess what?
What's that?
Guess how I paid you with that. You got instantly a role in my next movie.
Yeah, 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 yeah. No, 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 no,
Like
no,
I had
no.
other
It
people
was.
audition for what your character was. I instantly
That's
picked
right.
you.
That's right. You
So
did.
remember that.
No, no, no. I
Once
do.
we
I
get to the
do.
point where we can start paying actors, because right now
Yeah.
it's hard. You're gonna be
Yeah.
that one that gets into it.
Yeah, but no, as far as the whole on-set romance and everything, it's not very likely to ever happen with
Yeah,
me. I don't. I just am just like I have other areas to go find that.
yeah,
Not right here.
yeah. What about with Kevin? How did you feel about Kevin? Was there an on-screen romance between you guys?
Oh yeah, dude. When you like went away and everything, we went right into the bath. No, 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 no. But I will say, Kevin and I got along really, really well, and I do have a lot of appreciation for Kevin because I remember when we were doing our scenes that day and everything, like he complimented me, I
Oh yeah,
complimented him back and everything, and like I remember because he was only one of the weekends that we did the filming, and I remember on the last day, last shoot and everything, and he was just like, hey, if you ever need anything, like if there's any way I could help you with anything, please let me know. And I actually did take him up on that, like I think like a year or two later, because I remember the acting agency that he was a part of, I had submitted for, they reached back out asking for referrals. I asked Kevin if I could put him down as a referral, and he said
no,
absolutely.
that's
So
awesome.
yeah, no, so I do have great appreciation for Kevin. I like him as a performer, as an actor, as a worker, and everything. And I did have a lot of appreciation for him coming to my back for that.
Yeah,
So, no romance, but a bromance. Kevin and
romance.
I are
He's
bros.
a great guy. I mean, I
Mhm.
respect him.
Yeah.
I literally asked him. I was like, hey, I need I need an older gentleman type
Hmm.
to be this therapist character. Can you do it? I need you. I know you're busy. And he's like, absolutely. And I said, great. And then he provided the location. That's his law office that we went to.
Yeah.
And he's like, I have an office that we could set up in. You could use that. I was like, oh, yes. And so I was very thankful for that. He he used to give me info about film festivals,
Hmm.
and great guy. I almost asked to be producer for the Vermin Within. Um,
Oh, that's right. Because I told you should do that. I was like, you
yeah,
should ask Kevin to be a producer. And you're like, that's not a bad idea.
I was gonna ask him, but then I just didn't. I didn't want to put that on him.
Hmm.
I feel like because I feel like we're friends, and I don't want
Yeah.
to,
Oh,
the
yeah. No.
I didn't want to ask him for that. I would have felt guilty, or like I didn't want him feeling guilty if he said no or something.
Yeah.
And so that didn't go on. So we finish up Clyde. We have our little get together.
Hmm.
Uh, you, Jordan, who made the music, and
What up, Jordan?
and Nick and my mom, of course, were the only actors that showed up to the premiere,
Yeah.
because it was a cast and crew and friends type premiere.
Yep.
And I told you guys, hey, invite people if you want.
Hmm.
One person limit. We were just having a good time.
Yeah. No,
When
it
you
was
watch the
was
film for the
quite a
first
vibe.
time, the
Yep.
first time, right? Besides some stuff, what did you think of the film?
Um.
Because there was
So,
a lot of mistakes.
yeah, I would love to talk about one of them
Oh,
because it
go
was
ahead.
so funny. No, okay, I'll spare that thought for the moment. But so initially, yeah, like I said before, like just the whole idea of like I I might come off as this in person and everything because theater acting and on-screen acting totally two different beasts
Very
as far
different.
as like how to come off and everything. So going through college and learning that, I was like, gosh, I've been doing theater acting for like, all my life, it's that's going to be quite the transition and everything. And when I watched Clyde, I was so worried. I was like, man, I hope I come off okay. I hope I come off decent, and everything. So my like I liked the film. Like I liked the script and everything. The script was cool, but like my main concern, I know your main concern is like to make a good movie. My main concern as an actor, I was like, just look decent enough,
Yeah.
and everything and all that. And I did, and I liked what I did. I didn't have to turn my head so much to not look at me because it could be anything. I could be reciting the Pledge of Allegiance, on camera and everything, and then like 10 minutes later, I watch myself and I'd be like, "You're such an idiot. You look so stupid. You dumb, stupid, big four-headed
Oh, I mean, I do that
bitch."
all the time.
Yeah. So that was something, and it was cool. I remember like also I don't think I mentioned this, but like while the movie was going on, I did tell a lot of my friends about it, friends from down here to Minnesota and everything, and they were all messaging me throughout the movie and everything. Um m- Mostly asking me about some of the props being used, but I mean they were all letting me
Yes.
know, it's just being like,
Dude,
"Oh, you,
okay.
you look very interesting." I was
Listen.
they liked it. They liked it.
Listen, Clyde was a very low budget film.
Yep.
We Ketchup was used for the blood.
That's what everyone was
We literally
messaging
I
me.
remember that day, not gonna okay, that day that we did that, it was you and Kelsey day, and
Yep.
it was your fight scene. And I
Hmm.
remember we're like, all right, if anybody like this is a real thing, let's practice this
Yep.
slow motion type thing.
Hmm.
And I just like I didn't really think much about, all right, do we want this to be gruesome or do we want this to be quick?
Hmm.
And originally it was gonna be a quick, just like
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
But then everybody, my dad, I think you mentioned it. I think Kelsey was on board. Like,
Hmm.
let's go full out. Let's have a
Yeah.
full on fight scene. And so I was like, okay, I have fake blood, but it stains.
Yeah.
And I remember having her wear black, so she didn't really give a shit about
Yep.
staining. I don't remember what you were wearing,
I think a gray shirt.
gray shirt, and I knew that would
Yep.
stain.
Yep.
So I was
We
like,
went out
okay,
to Goodwill and we got it together.
who, me and
It-
you?
it- yeah, it was a cute little outing.
Oh, it was. I remember that because I did that with Michael too.
He tried to hold my
Um,
hand and everything. I was like, you're the
I
director.
went to
Come
hold his
on.
hand and
Yeah.
he went like that, and I was
Yeah,
like, oh,
I noticed how you didn't bring up our on-screen romance, but whatever. Or
oh,
on-set
we'll
romance,
bring
but
that up
whatever.
next.
Okay, all right.
Uh, but like I
But
just didn't think
yeah.
like I just to me I was like I don't know how to make this look good. The knife that we had was is a prop knife and
Yeah.
it was very flimsy, and I'll admit it was very flimsy. I think the
Mhm.
best prop that we had was the hammer.
Yes. Yes.
And that sucker hurt if you hit somebody with that, but it didn't cause you to bleed or die. The knife, though, I was like, how are we gonna do this?
Mhm.
Eventually, we figured it out with Vermin Within. But with this one, it like would
I'm
bend.
glad you figured it out then.
It literally with like not even like pushing on it, and I was like, oh man, this is gonna look bad. And I
Yeah.
remember sitting in editing, and I see it bend because you get a stabber,
Yep.
and it bends right back into place. And I was like, oh. And I remember having like zoom in so I wouldn't see it type stuff, and
Yeah. Well, I will say when it comes down to that scene in particular, a couple things to mention. Yeah. So the blood thing, I do remember. So for those listening and have seen Clyde, is that there are two different takes with that. There was the first day it was a quicker one and everything and all that, and then came back. It's like let's redo it. Let's add a little bit more depth into this
yep.
scene. Let's choreograph it a little bit more and all that. And I remember I really did pay for it on that second set and everything. Kelsey did apologize for this and
Oh yeah,
everything, but
she needs you in the nuts.
she need me right in the nuts, and you could see it on camera
Oh yeah,
too.
it
And
did.
it took every part of my willpower to be like, don't fall over, don't collapse, just stay strong. And I did and everything because I'm a man. And
Well, partially.
partially, not yeah, I was like Kelsey took that away from me, um, but that's okay. And to the point of the knife, I will say that the editing and everything on that part was good because as far as like any funny point outs that anyone's ever said to me, they've never mentioned that fight scene as far as the knife goes.
Yeah, it's always the blood.
The blood distracted them well enough, so you're good.
Oh, right. But yeah, I remember filming the hammer scene where you
Yeah.
went to go kill
Oh
Daniel.
my God.
And dude, I envisioned this I wanted a splatter on the lens.
Yeah.
I've always wanted a splatter on the lens, but I couldn't afford splattering on my actual lens. So we
Hmm.
had this like fake glass plastic thing. We put
Yep.
it over. It looked, dude. I remember us going so many times, and it just looked awful. And I was really upset about it. And
Yeah.
then I was like, all right, how about we change it to where right when you do it, it cuts to inside the car, so the headlights light you guys up.
Hmm.
I mean, it's still a good scene. Like I like the
Yeah.
scene.
Yeah, no, like it definitely, I mean, the splatter on the lens
Would
and
have been way
everything
better.
would have been better and everything for sure, but I remember the whole idea was like, so going up, hammer my right hand, camera to my left and everything, plus that glass looking thing in front of it to capture the splatter and everything. The goal was is we dipped the hammer in the blood that we had and everything.
Yep.
And I just remember like the idea is like try to whip it to where it will go
You
to
you
it
whip
and
it
get
like
something
this
on it. And I should have counted. I should have kept track of how many. Like after like three times, I should have kept track because I remember we did it like
so
I
many
want to.
times.
I want to say 17. I don't know why 17 comes to my head, but we did it 17 times. And I remember Nick being like, "Why are you like whipping your arms so hard and everything?" It's like, "Well, I want this to look realistic." And then I remember like an hour later, my whole right arm was so sore. I just was like, and we didn't even get the freaking
Nope.
shot.
Dude, don't worry. You were upset about that. Think about me. I was
Mm,
pissed.
yeah.
I was like, I really wanted that shot. And then what made
Mm.
it better too was I don't think I told you. I don't think I've told you this,
Oh.
but we were hanging out at the house. I think we got food. Like we ordered food or something, and we
Hmm.
were just talking about what we're gonna do. And I was very quiet. I don't know if you remember that. I left, and
Okay.
I was in like my room for like a good like 35 minutes. I was having a full on breakdown, mental breakdown.
Really?
I was like, my heart was like, I was like, I thought I was about to die. Like it was
Was
that.
I really that convincing as a killer?
No, no. I think I was just stressed because I think that was one
Ah,
of our
okay.
last days,
Okay.
and I was like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, I remember walking between my room, my parents' room, the bathroom, and just staying back here. And my mom goes, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "I don't feel good." And I was like, literally like panicking, and I was trying not to show you guys.
Hmm.
And I was expecting it for, my new movie, and it didn't happen, thank God. But oh my gosh, I remember like it hit me like, oh my gosh, we're almost done. Like, am I good enough? Am I doing good? And I was sitting here like, I remember us eating. I think you were here. Kelsey was next to me.
Hmm.
Nick was next to you.
Hmm.
Dad was over here, and I remember just getting up and walking away. Chugged two big ass water bottles, and I was like, am I like having a heart attack? Like what's going on? It's like one of
Hmm.
those like it was a fear moment.
Yeah.
And luckily it was just nothing. I calmed down. We went and did the shot, came back, and then I went to bed. I think I only think I started editing, and it was one of like it was the most worrying things I ever went through. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm about to die in front of my cast. So yeah, did I ever tell you about that?
I don't think you ever told me about that. I can't
Yeah,
even say there might be a slight memory of me being like, "Oh, Trent's not really hanging out with us like he normally does." There might I'm getting like a sliver of like an idea of that. I think I just remember like we were hanging out with your parents and we were like talking about stuff. So I think maybe that's why we didn't really notice it too much
yeah.
to the point where we'd be like, "Trenton, what are you doing?"
Oh yeah, and I was like, I can't do this in front of them. And I was
Hmm.
just like, oh my gosh. But we finished the movie, and yeah, mind you, the movie's not perfect. You
Yeah.
know, audio sucks,
Hmm.
especially that one scene where I'm talking about with the fountain.
Yeah, yeah. So I remember this very, very well. Also, remind me to talk about April real quick
Oh yeah,
after this
absolutely.
point.
We'll get to that.
Okay, because anyways, so I remember when we the bench near the fountain. I remember like sitting there, and I'm not like I do a little bit of audio here and there and everything and all that, and so I know a sliver. of information and all that. But I just remember sitting there, and I said it to you. I just was like, "Boy, do you not think that that fountain's gonna
I remember you
catch?"
telling me this.
Yeah, and you're like, "Nah, don't worry.
I was like,
You
it's
got a
fine.
sound guy. You know, like we'll cut
We
it
got
out.
a
It'll be
sound guy. I'll
fine.
take it out.
Yeah, we'll take it out."
Oh, dude, I
And
was very ignorant, dude. I was like, oh, we got this. We got this in the bag.
mhm,
Well, I think what helped was so at the time we were using a shotgun mic for everything.
mhm,
I remember hiding the like doing all this. You could in that one scene you could see the shadow of the mic on Kelsey, I think, on when it was like over the shoulder, I think, or something.
yeah,
Very bad. And I couldn't listen to live
yeah,
audio. I there was no mic plugged into the camera, and until we got to Vermin, where I got a monitor and so we could plug in and we got live audio, so now we can hear all the mess ups and stuff.
mhm,
But I just didn't care, and I had to like when I finished Clyde, and that scene happened, I really had to reflect, and I was like, all right, take advantage of audio, take advantage of
mhm,
reshoots. It's okay to reshoot because to me
mhm.
reshoots were bad at that time. I was like, I can't reshoot. I feel like that. I feel like they'll think I failed at that part, right? And so we got to Vermin Within, and we reshot pretty much the entire freaking movie
Except for my scenes.
because you were perfect.
That's what I'm saying, man.
And so yeah,
Take that, Michael. No, I'm kidding.
I mean,
I'm kidding. I'm
I
kidding.
love Clyde. I have great memories of Clyde.
Yeah.
I made a great friend with Clyde. Um, but yeah, and then I took a couple years off.
Hmm.
I think I made a documentary in between. I think
Hmm.
right after, and then I start working on this new movie. And originally it was gonna be a short film, and then my dad was like, "How about you make it in a feature? Make it long, make it an hour."
Hmm.
Because Clyde was 37 minutes.
Yep.
I was like, "All right, I'll make it. I'm writing away." I wrote the entire movie drunk. I don't know if I
That
told you guys
explains a
that.
lot. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
And I was watching Wolfman. I was watching all these 1950s black and white horror films, monster
Hmm.
movies. And I was like, I want to make that. So we made a little movie called The Vermin Within, and your boy Jonah's in the movie. Um, he plays Officer Jeff. What's your last? Jeff West.
I had a last
You
name?
had a
Oh
last
my
name,
God. I would have got so more into character if I knew Wes was my last name.
Jeff West. Um, this time I had you put your hair up,
Yes.
but you had a goatee.
That, yeah. Okay. So. Well, let me comment on that and everything. So this man, Chapel people and everything will not let me have my way in anything. I can't have
Never.
everything 100% my way ever. It's so unfair. So yeah, so in the first so Clyde, the first movie we do together and everything, he has my hair all the way down. I don't like it. It looks stupid. I look dumb and everything. Go watch Clyde. You'd be like, that's a stupid looking boy right there and everything. That's what we're all gonna think. And then we go into the Vermin Within, where I play a police officer or detective. I don't even know what the hell
You were
my
kind
rank
of
was. Like an intern.
you were a cop. Even your character was like we didn't reference you as a detective. You were just called Officer Jeff. Devin was
Yeah.
called Detective Kevin, and we never established it. I just know that you were dressed in white, black
Hmm.
pants or something.
Hmm.
You had your thing, sunglasses.
Badge. Sunglasses are key.
The sunglasses were key, and then I was like, he needs something else. And I was really just gonna have you grow a mustache out.
Yeah.
And then at the time, you had the goatee grown yourself,
Hmm.
and I was like, I want
Because
that.
I was a lazy. I have my pure. I shaved today for this, mind you. This is see one of these days I will get a movie where I look exactly like this,
Well, the next
and
movie is you in a fat suit. That's the next one.
and the ladies will come a running and I will have my stick to beat them off with and everything. But yeah, so you see the goatee and you're like, can you grow that out more? And I was like, I could grow it a little bit more, nothing impressive. Like I told you, I was like, you're a few years younger than me, but your beard is way past what I will ever be able to grow and everything. But my goatee is my most prominent facial feature. And you're like, well, why don't you grow it out? We'll see what it looks like. And I was growing it out, just like being like, please, for the love of God. And then finally it got to like the prime Jonah goatee, took a picture, sent it. He's like, yes, keep it. And I was like, shit.
Yep. I just liked it. I liked it. I was like, that's Jeff West,
That's Jeff West.
and like your character, like was not intended to be what you made it into to be. He was going to be this like one character that you just like, all right, cool, and then he's gone. But you
Yeah.
turned him into the comic relief.
Mhm.
You made it so funny.
Yeah. Yeah. So I remember you kind of gave me the idea that he wasn't like as serious
As a detective.
as the detective, yeah, as the detective and everything. And I kind of, and I looked and everything, and not complain. I guess we could also go over the initial you casting me for that role too a little bit. But I remember looking at the script and looking at all my lines, and I was like, well, there's not like. If I was going to be a semi-serious character, there's nothing really here for me to stand out. I think everyone's going to go the serious route. So how do I kind of shine above that with as little of as part as I have and everything? I was like, I'll just go kind of the opposite. Not so much to like
Yeah.
totally just, I'm not going to show up in a clown makeup outfit or
Yeah.
anything like that, but like it'll be just enough to where like it's obviously a different type of character and everything. So I just, I came in with that one. That one I just was like, I just am just going to try to be the doofiest cop I have in my image, in my mind and everything with what I have. And, in watching it, I remember chuckling at some of the stuff. I don't know if it was if we how many takes we did for one of the scenes and everything, but the one take where I'm getting in closer and the things I
Yes.
say, and I just was like, was that a serious take? Did we seriously take that? Was that like, because to me,
We did it a couple times.
yeah,
Um, and originally you're like, you had a more stern voice. Cover me.
yes,
I'm gonna get in for a closer shot. And then I
yeah,
think I told you, it's like, goof it up a little bit.
goof it up, yeah, and
And then you made your voice cover me.
yep,
I'm gonna get in for a closer shot.
yeah.
And I was like,
I
this
don't.
is so funny. And I
Yeah,
was
no,
like,
it was great.
I feel
It
like
was
in
great.
all those movies though, like there's always that one funny character.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, Jonah's gonna be perfect in this. And like the sunglass, I don't even think I told you the sunglass bit.
Yeah, no, the sunglasses bit too was like I was like, what's
That was not in the script.
that was not in the script. That was something I will take a lot of credit for the sense of like what's a typical detective thing to do is watching some detective like cop movies where there's a detective and everything. Like I saw the other guys with that have Dwayne, The Rock Johnson, Samuel L. Jackson, and they're always just wearing sunglasses and
Yep.
everything and all that. And I just was like, they're not making it a point for those sunglasses to be cool and everything. So that's why it's kind of cool. Jeff not being a cool guy, but he's one
Not
of
at
those
all.
guys that just was just like, I've seen this in the movies, so I want to replicate it, but he's doing it to
In
a
fact,
fault.
the line was, a whole new thing that you guys added in,
Yes.
and it was you guys are like having a stakeout, right? You and
Yep.
the detective, and you have your sunglasses on, and
Mhm.
it's nighttime, which makes it so much
Yes.
funnier. he goes,
Yes.
he's like, Devin's being super serious with his character. I don't know, I have a
Mhm.
bad feeling about him. And why? Who wears sunglasses at night?
Yeah.
And you're just your little like your little tinter tantrum that you had.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to play the part.
Trying to play the part.
And I was like, oh, that was so good. And I remember everybody laughing at that, and
Yeah.
everybody appreciated that. I think, and then I want to talk about one part.
Okay.
Um, you probably remember it. It was the first time I went off on a cast member. Do you remember this?
Was it me?
It
Was I
was
the
you.
one?
When I went off on you.
Oh yeah, you talk about the shirt
The
thing?
shirt. I
Yeah.
said have two shirts because we're gonna ruin one on the first day, and then they're gonna have to bring it back.
Yeah.
And you're like, you didn't tell me that. And I said, I looked
I
at the
didn't bring
text
that
here.
first shirt. I didn't bring the first shirt. You brought the first shirt.
The first shirt was
That was
mine. I was like, hey, I'm bringing this for you to ruin. You bring the next one. This is what we're
Yeah,
acting in.
but I do recall though. I recall this very vividly because when I went to Goodwill to get that other shirt, I just was like, "There's no way I misheard that." Was the day that we ruined the shirt and everything. I remember someone asking like, "Well, are we gonna get blood on this and everything? What happens if we have to redo it?" And you were like, "Don't worry, I got another one." And I just was like, "All right, he's
No,
he's got that for me." I recall that very vividly. I will stand my
maybe
ground on
it's
that.
done and over with.
No, it's not done. That's it. We're totally flipping this whole podcast over. No,
But
no,
like,
I do remember that.
and like, it was for a short day too, and this was like because I remember lumping you and Devin in together,
Yep.
and like we're gonna have a whole weekend just the cops
Yep.
for this. And I was like, I had to show my dominance. You know, I was the director. I had to show who's boss on this, and I'm glad I had to do it on you
Of course.
because I feel like okay, I'm like I consider us good friends, right? And I was like, all right, if anybody I'm gonna
Yeah,
have to
you
get
do. No,
on, okay, yeah, oh
no,
yeah,
I'm
okay.
kidding.
If anybody I'm gonna have to get on to, I'm glad it was Jonah because I feel like okay, Jonah could probably take it. He's worked with me before, and you know we're still good. We're all good.
Yeah. Yeah, we're talking.
But yeah, all right.
I'm
How did you
here.
feel about the other actors? Let's start with Michael. How did you feel about Michael? He took your
Michael,
spot. He took your
he
spot as
took my
lead.
spot. No, no, okay. Wait, okay. Not to take away from what you're trying to do. Do you want to talk about the initial like casting me part?
Oh yeah, I
because
mean we can get
because
into that.
I feel like because I would like to talk about all the other actors and everything. I will say when it comes because the whole idea like Michael took my spot. I remember you putting up the casting call for it, and my initial thought because you put it up for everybody
Hmm.
and everything for all the different sites and even some of the Facebook groups and everything. I saw it. And I was like, I don't think he wants me to do like there was a part of me that was just like, I don't know how much he wants to put me in his films like that.
No,
Like I don't want like I think he might have the idea of like well if I keep putting Jonah in all my films and all this and everything everyone's just gonna think it's a it's always gonna he's just that guy
no,
that
not at all. Because I wanted you to be in the movie.
yeah
I wanted you to have a smaller part this time.
yes
Not that the fact like the only reason why you weren't a lead is because
yeah
I didn't want people thinking this was a Clyde sequel because people know you as
yes
Clyde.
hmm
And you know we did change your appearance up. That was the main reason why we had you grow out the goatee. We just
yep
change you up. That way you look completely different from Clyde to Vermin.
yes
And that's why I keep saying if I have you in my movies, we're gonna change your appearance and put you in worse scenarios.
yeah
And so I was expecting you to like do something. I was like, he'll probably go for the detective because he wants to play detective, the
yeah
cop maybe, or maybe just like, hey, can I be in it? I was expecting a call from you, and I was like, oh, I guess he doesn't want to be in it. And then we had a few people audition for the role of Jeff,
hmm
and none of them just fit it. They're just not
hmm
it. There's not what I was looking for. And then I contacted you. I was like, hey, you mind reading for this one part?
yep
It's a small role. I know you're used to being a lead in my films, but I feel like you could have. I'm trying to give you something. You haven't worked in a while. Dang, that was a roast.
I've done a couple of things in between. I was on national television.
Oh, big star.
Yeah, man.
But I
Was
reached out
it,
and I was,
you recognize this
oh
arm,
my gosh, we'll get to that later.
America? Oh,
Uh,
that's right. That is a funny story. But
uh,
yeah, when you reached out and you were just like I posted it. I was like, yeah, I saw it. And you're just like, are you interested? And I just was like, I think yeah, we both kind of had that idea initially separately at the same time was that like me being a smaller part in your next film was probably the best idea. So then I remember also saying I was just like I'm interested in being a cop because I'm trying to like I'm writing something similar and everything. And then you had like two different detective roles and everything and I was like I don't think I want to be the super serious detective
yeah,
and
I don't think
everything.
you wouldn't have fit the character.
Yeah,
And
I
plus,
wouldn't
I
have.
was looking more. I had it all when I was writing the character of Detective Kevin O'Malley. I didn't have the vision of a white guy playing him. Like
Racist.
I know, shame on me for not wanting a white guy to be the really cool part. But
Get that liberal shit out of here.
I pictured this. I was picturing either a black guy playing him.
Hmm.
I was like, I feel like that'd be a great black character.
Yep.
You know, you never really see black people play as cops,
Hmm.
and you know, I feel like that character was kind of the hero
Hmm.
in a sense in the film. But I just you never seen that before.
Hmm.
I even considered changing the gender.
Oh.
So it was gonna be a female detective, and it was gonna be Kathy O'Malley. And you know, we just didn't have any good character. Like Devin came in, and it's between him and this other guy, and the other guy didn't show up for the audition, so I gave Devin got it, and he did phenomenal. You know,
Hmm.
and then I was gonna have a chemistry read between you and Kevin, or sorry, Devin. They have a very similar name between you and Devin, but I feel like
They
you guys
look a
didn't
lot
have
alike too.
yeah, and I just there wasn't a lot of like lines with you guys together,
Yeah.
so I was like, oh, we'll cut that. But I feel like you guys did really good together.
Hmm.
But I remember reaching out to you, like, hey, I need you in this. I want you to be in my movie. And
Mhm.
in my mind, I was like, he's gonna be my Bruce Campbell to my Sam Raimi.
Okay.
I was like, I want him to be so, like, even if it's a cameo.
Yeah.
Like, I even thought about doing like a connecting the movies,
Mhm.
where there was gonna be like a newspaper and it was gonna be your picture as Clyde,
Okay.
or like a newscast and you were there, like a mugshot or something.
Yep.
And I was like, I want him to be part of like a cameo type thing that we've connected. And the connection was that the detective and Clyde, the therapist, calls the cop Kevin, and the
Mhm.
cop character
Yeah.
in this film is Kevin. That's the connection. If you're
Gotcha.
true
Yeah.
fans, you'll get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
None of you fakers out there
but yeah, you got in the movie. I was
got
very
in the
happy. It
movie.
was a familiar face.
Yeah.
Somebody I could boss around extremely hard and show my
Yeah.
dominance.
Yeah, okay, hold on, hold on. There's another dominance thing that you did during Clyde that you skipped over.
What was
You
that?
son of a gun. It was the first day. This is first day, ladies and gentlemen. This gentleman is like, okay, we're gonna have a scene where you're gonna be walking down the sidewalk and
Oh
Kelsey's gonna see
yes.
you all the way over there. And so he has me go, I want to say 30 yards, 40 yards and
You
everything. I
go
was
like
like,
it's a
it,
so like it's
it was a
almost a
distance.
highway
It was,
almost.
yeah, it was basically a highway. It's like walking the sidewalk and everything.
Down the
and
sidewalk.
and you have like this stereotypical director, I forget what they're
Megaphone.
called, megaphone, yeah, megaphone
I
and
think
everything.
it's somewhere over there.
Yeah, and like you're like, all right, do this, do that, and like, and there's even a part where you're just like, let's just see what it looks like with you running and everything.
I
And so
made you go
like,
up and go down and then run
yeah,
back up, do it again
yeah,
3 times, I think.
yeah, and yeah,
Cut.
yeah. So you have made me sweat,
And then
but
cut to Vermin.
vermin,
This
yeah.
wasn't even my idea. You got into
Oh
the
yeah.
worst position and you had to lay there for like an hour.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this was the best moment of the movie. This guy cut it out. I can't believe it. So there is a scene where my character, spoilies or not really,
Not
or
really. I
no?
feel like
Okay,
your
all right,
character's
all right.
small.
There's a part where my character is on the ground, done for,
Yeah.
right, and everything, and something else was going on this in the area and everything, and I was like, well, I'm comedic, like, my character, I'm trying to make as funny as I can be without being too stupid about it. What's something that's just so subtle but still kind of funny? And
You
I was
get
like,
into this position.
position like Peter Griffin does or any character does off of Family Guy, that like whenever they fall over, they're like all like their arms are all around their leg is all curled up
You're
and everything and
ragdolling
all
it.
that. I ragdolled, and we and I laid there like that for like, I want to say over half an hour, and everyone
Yeah,
kept telling me, it's like, you don't have to do this.
you don't have to do this.
I'm doing this. This is my actor's choice. I'm doing it. And it doesn't even make
You're
a
in
damn,
it.
I'm in it, but you can't appreciate it.
There's a part where he looks over and you're there.
Yeah.
I
But
tried.
it can't be, it's not even appreciated and everything. There's still a picture of it. Like I still have a picture
It's your
of it
contact
somewhere.
photo for me.
Is it really?
Yeah, dude. I will
That's
love it. Let me see if I can like show
awesome.
the camera without showing
That
your
is,
number.
yeah, don't call me, people. I don't even let Trenton call me.
That's true.
He has to go through my agent.
Such a dickhead. All right.
But yeah, no, so like I lay there and
Is your number on here? No, just your first. Uh,
too bright,
yeah. Too dark.
too dark. Yeah, so as you can see, people, there that let you see that shoe and everything. Connected to that shoe is my foot, and connected to my foot is my leg, and you can see
Dude,
where my knee is, and that's where I'm bending my leg.
but it's so funny.
And I laid there like that for like over half an hour,
You didn't
and
have
then
to. I did
I
not
didn't
tell you to
have
do
to.
that.
There was no one who told me to do it. The only direction I got was lay
Lay there.
down, you're done, and everything. And I was like, got it. How I lay down is gonna be my choice though.
Yes.
And then another thing, now I see that picture. There's another thing which I think you wanted me to miss this part, but I really got to bring it up. I want to rewind back to Clyde and everything because it's kind of important. So my cars are featured in a lot of movies, not just yours, but a couple other
Yes.
movies and everything. Now, back when I had, so you guys go watch Clyde and everything, you'll see me driving a golden Buick LaCrosse. It's my car.
Hmm.
That is my car. All right. So there's a scene, the hammer scene,
You see the
where
license
I,
plate.
yeah. So where I hit someone over the head with a hammer. I remember he had the camera in front of my car, and I looked at my license plate and I looked at the camera, and I was like, Trent, is this going to capture my license plate? And he was like, don't worry, I'll
Don't worry
just
about
blur
it.
it out. I was like, got it. I trust you, director, man. And then come premiere day. Now, I was going to bring this up earlier, but like, I'm very much a talker at home with people during
Oh, I too.
movies. And I remember the entire movie, I wanted to make jokes, but I also like was worried that it might undercut it too. So I was just like, just keep your mouth shut
Yeah.
and everything. Just enjoy it and everything. So I did really, really well with not saying a damn word and everything. But also that scene comes in, here comes the golden Buick LaCrosse and everything, and there's my license plate. And I just the first thing I say is like, you fucking told me you were gonna cover that up, and everyone busted out laughing, and you were just like,
I honest to God,
and that was
I
the other
forgot.
thing. That was the other thing people across the country were messaging me was, dude, do you know your license plate's in the movie? I was like, yeah, I know, we're fixing it, we're fixing it.
I think it's out now.
It's out now. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I went to, when I watched it last night, I was like, oh, it's still out. And
I
then
think I think I fixed it. I think it's unless like I remember blurring the full license plate, and then there's a part where your legs covering part of it up. So I'm like, okay,
what?
we can work with that.
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay.
But like
But
with
yeah,
this new
no,
movie,
so it's
okay,
fixed. And in this new movie,
we had to use your car.
we had
So
to
we,
use my car.
but
Different car though.
different
It's not
car,
the
your license plate's not in it.
it's not in it. But there was a different thing that I was just like just gonna keep my mouth shut about it. Well, I don't think I kept my mouth shut about it. I think I was very like I was vocal in a different way, but really what I was trying to say was this was we use my car for not only just for a prop thing in the movie, but also for
For
lighting.
lighting.
For lighting.
And don't you can't complain because I literally when we finished rapping, I was like, "Do you need gas money? I understand that we use your car. I will give you gas money."
It wasn't the gas.
It was a battery.
No, it was kind of the battery thing. Yeah,
Because
I
I was
remember it
like,
was the
I will
battery.
help you get some. Like I told him, I go, I'm so sorry that we had to do this. We weren't
Mm.
expecting that whole thing to take that long.
Yeah, that would I think. I mean, you probably dealt with longer scenes and all that, but I remember that day, that whole scene because it required some choreography and
Yeah,
some practice before actual filming with actual blood and everything and all that. So that part I understood and everything. But when we were filming, yeah, there were some parts where there was a
because
little bit more time.
I remember like Sam had to tell me he's like, I need to get going, and then I remember looking at your car and go, his lights have been on for a minute, and I
Oh
was
yeah,
like,
I think like a full hour.
and then I was like, it just didn't cry. I felt so bad. I think when you were getting ready to leave, I was like, do you need gas? Like, what do you need? I understand like we are using your car, and we're good now.
Yeah, we're good. I mean, it's actually in the shop right now,
Oh,
but
not
not
my
because of
problem.
that.
It's been a
Not
year.
because of that. No, 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 no. But yeah, so yeah, both
But I'm
so
very
far,
grateful that you let me do that.
yeah.
Like,
And so I'm sorry, but like so funny enough, like I feel this reputation now that if I'm also in the movie, so is my current
yes,
vehicle because I did another short film where sure enough, my vehicle had to be a prop again. It was funny. It
I'm
was
adding it
funny.
to the for the next film in the contract. It's gonna be in it. Actors may have to use vehicles in movie
Oh, I see. Okay. I thought you meant like specifically
because we
me and
used
everything. Jonah, you get a special contract. We need you in the car.
Michael's car, we
Yep.
used Jesse's car,
Hmm.
um, my car.
Yep.
The part where the car rolls into the driveway, that's not your car. That's my car.
Yep.
We had to trick the audience up.
You
Um,
fooled me.
we had to my grandparents' cars were in it. My parents' cars were in it. Like everybody's car, not just you, man. All right,
Yep.
and all the license plates are all out.
That's good. I'm glad you're learning.
I'm learning. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Uh, but like, all right. So we're working on Vermin Within. You read the script. We go to the table
Yep.
read. How did you feel about the movie?
About the movie?
Yeah.
Um, I thought it was good. Like I definitely like as far as like once again like I suppose I didn't really mention this yet, but Jordan the sound guy once again blew it out of the park
Oh,
and everything. It blows my mind that you have that connection because I think a lot of people would
I am
pay
so
a
thankful.
good, very nice, pretty penny
I told him
for
that
his
too.
expertise.
He's very talented.
He is very good. I remember you told me like for Clyde. I remember you telling me she's like, "Oh, I got a friend." I was like, "Oh, great," you
And the
know.
Clyde music isn't that bad.
No, no, Clyde music is great,
Jordan
man.
Jordan doesn't like the Clyde music. He thinks that this
Well,
this new soundtrack is dude, soundtracks Vermin Within knocks it out of the park.
I think Jordan just has a problem with the lead actor of Clyde.
I guess so. I mean, I do too.
Yeah, it's oh jeez, but yeah, no, I honestly like from Clyde to Vermin Within, music wise, I always feel like Jordan definitely hits it out of the park, and it's great that like and also like you also being there to help also set the tone too, like I definitely there definitely is a really big skill to being able to express what you're looking for in sound to somebody else, and them
Yeah.
also being able to interpret that. That's also like really cool. And so music wise, that is always cool. And I mean, like I said, script wise, when it comes down to monster stuff and everything, it's not necessarily my jam. But like, I remember everyone else being really into it, and I just was like, it doesn't have to be my jam. Like there's movies out there that I don't appreciate. That other, I'm not saying I don't appreciate your movie, but I'm just saying like the whole idea of like going back to just being like, well, I think Clyde's better is it's because that whole idea of a monster flick isn't always my cup of tea.
Yeah.
But I also did understand at the same time. It's just like, but it is somebody else's.
Like when we had the
So
table read, that
yeah,
was I think that was your first table read with me because you
yes,
weren't at the table read for Clyde.
nope,
You meet everybody,
yep.
and I think you and Devin came in at the same time. I think, right?
No, it was me and Michael.
Yeah, I was
I
right.
I remember what was the I because what was the place we went to, was it also partially like a divorce
So it was a law firm.
law firm, but
It
like
was
there's
my mom's like law firm, and I asked him, I was like, hey, I have a big cast. I didn't want people coming to my house at first, and I was like, I feel like it's kind of weird. Plus, I'm with my parents at that time,
Mhm.
and I was like, let's have it somewhere that they drive to, everybody can go to, and it's
Yep.
it's us. We'll get food, and my mom was like, oh, you can use our law office, and I asked the lawyer that was in charge, the name on the
Mhm.
thing, hey, can I use your place? And he's like, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
And then
I'm trying to I'm sorry. I'm trying to remember, was the office, did is part of it specialty in divorces or something like that?
yes,
Okay, so me and Michael came in together. I remember him walking in
I
before
just know
me.
what you guys are gonna say.
Yeah. So him walking in before me, and I remember you showed me a lot of like the final candidates for a lot of these parts and everything. So when I saw Michael, I was like, oh, I think that's the dude that Trenton cast and everything. So but I didn't say anything quite yet. But he's a little ahead of me or behind me, I don't care. But and I remember like at that point, I think he also acknowledged like, oh, this dude's like also going the same direction as me. I was like, are you going in for a table read, or are you trying to get a divorce? And that was the first thing I said to Michael and everything. He thought it was kind of funny. I don't know. He might have lied to me. But yeah, no, so me and Michael went in the first time. So that was my introduction to Michael.
Oh yeah, Michael. Let me tell you, Michael is a very talented guy. Not only did he act in this movie, he made the poster,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he okay. There was some drama with the poster, but in the end, it's done. It wasn't like drama where we were fighting. It was just like I kind of need this poster done.
Oh, a
It
timing
was a
thing.
timing
Got
thing.
it.
It wasn't on
Okay.
him. It wasn't on me. It was just the timing of everything that I was scheduling,
hmm
and
So it was on you. Got it.
it was on me. Yeah. Um, and he did it completely free, and I wish I could like with
Slide him a 20.
my movies, right?
Says like, take this, you filthy animal.
And I remember sitting down at the cast during this table read, and I'll go like this goes into what I'm about to say.
Okay.
We're sitting at the table read, and I mentioned like I understand I'm not paying you,
Mm,
but I want to use the money that I would pay you to make this movie better. Like you're gonna get fed. Um, if there's something that we have to do for you, we're gonna do it. I'm
mm,
trying to give you guys all these accommodations. Like you guys are first dibs on next movies. We do your demo reels for you.
mm.
Um, and experience, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm very thankful everybody, because Alexis and Devin were our two most experienced, and
Yep.
I'll say Jesse too. I'll say Jesse's pretty experienced. Were our
Hmm.
three most experienced actors, and they
Yep.
were all cool with it. Alexis was like, even if I don't get the role during her auditions, she's like, even if I don't get the role, I want to be on this movie. I'll be a PA. I'll do something.
Hmm.
And I was so thankful for that. And I would like to eventually, I'm hoping my next movie, if not the next, pay actors. I want to be able to provide something for you guys. Um, but it's tricky, you know. With this movie, we had to get new lights, new lenses, new audio. Audio was a big thing that I was focusing on.
Yep.
Locations that we had to worry about. Luckily, the location came in clutch and basically gave it to us for free.
Yeah.
Um, I had to worry about the next part, which was, you know, posters and are we gonna do a movie theater type thing? I was
Hmm.
worrying about that stuff, and I told him I was like, I'm not paying you, but we're gonna give you other things,
Yeah.
you know. And looking back at it, you know, I think food will come down. Food is gonna definitely come down.
It's
Uh,
cheaper than Little Caesars, man. Come on.
uh, were you on set when we had Red Barons?
No.
We had Red Baron pizzas one day.
Nice.
We had corn dogs.
Yeah, I didn't get any of this.
We had sandwiches. We like bread and meat and everything. Um, there was one day Alexis paid for lunch. She's like, "I'll
Oh,
get
that's
everybody
cool.
lunch." But yeah, it was just. I
I
wish I could
wasn't
pay
there,
our
but that's nice
actors.
of her.
It was nice for her. I thank her for that. But I wish I could pay my actors. Oh my god, I wish I could.
Mm.
I was just so grateful that I got to work with such talented people. And so I provided everything else. It's like, hey, dinner meals, food. Um, if it's really gets to the point where you need gas money, I'll give you some. Just let me know. And everybody
Yeah.
was cool with it.
Yeah.
So you met Michael first. What was your impression of Michael?
Nice ass.
Dude, right?
Right. No, Michael is cool. Like he's definitely like a very interesting gentleman. I thought it was cool. I think it's cool, like, because he told me the poster thing. Like, so I guess to go back to the poster, I thought the poster was really, really cool. The only thing I said was, I think what you should have added, Michael, was me laying down with my leg all messed up, just somewhere in the background. I think that would make the poster
That would be kind of funny.
like 200 times better. Michael's like, I agree, you're really smart, Jonah. And but so Michael's really cool. Like he's nice. Like he's definitely got a lot of really interesting stories.
Oh
Like
yeah.
I see why he went into the stand-up scene. I don't know if he's still doing it. I hope
Oh
he
yeah, he
is.
is. I think so.
Okay, good. Good. Well, I haven't heard about it. No, I'm
No.
kidding. No, so Michael's really cool. I definitely was like, yeah, like after getting, talk to him a little bit and everything, I was like, yeah, I could definitely understand why Trenton picked him to be this part instead of me. No.
And then Lindsay.
And then Lindsay, yeah, and then there's Lindsay. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really get too much of an opportunity to talk with her.
Mm.
I guess to also set a little bit of more of understanding of me not getting to know too many of them too well was everyone got to shoot a lot more than I did. I was there for one week and everything,
I
so
well, originally you were supposed to come back.
yeah, and you didn't tell me about it. I said
It was
I
a brand
remember
new
you.
scene. That's why.
Yeah, there was a brand new scene that you wrote me out of and everything.
No, I wanted you to be in it, and then I said, "Hey, do you still have your goatee?" And you're like, "I just shaved it today," and I was like, "Fuck you."
Oh, that's right. You that's
So
what
I don't
happened.
want to hear that. It
I,
was your fault.
we could have done from lips up
It
and
wouldn't have
everything.
worked.
It wouldn't have worked. You would
Because
have
you
got
know
my
what scene
crazy
I'm
eyes.
talking about.
Yeah, I know what scene you're
It
talking
wouldn't have
about.
worked.
But you were able to fill another checkbox on your I want to do this in my film. So you were able to
Yes.
do that and everything. But I
We
mean,
did something really, I think
but
it was really cool.
I will say you're pointing the finger at me and being like it's your fault and everything. I asked you. I was like, is it cool if I shave
I
my
will
goatee? And
admit,
you were
I let
you're
you
like
do
yeah,
it.
it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. But
I
yeah,
even
so
thought about like getting like a prosthetic one. And I was
that
like,
would have been
it
that
would've
would have been
been
too
bad.
stupid. It would have been too stupid. I would have been like no.
And then Alexis. What do you think about
Yeah.
Alexis?
Yeah. Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. I didn't say anything about Lindsay. I was like,
Well, you
Lindsay
said that
seems
you
really
hated
nice.
her.
I wanted to express it a lot in big paragraphs. No, I didn't get really a chance to work to talk too much with Lindsay or really get to. I mean, the only person I really got to have a scene with is Devin, but
Yeah.
in between I got to talk with him. But Lindsay I didn't get to talk too much to,
Yeah.
and I was bad. I was bad. I bad
I
in the
want to
sense of
host like
like.
a reunion type thing. I just I that this cast was great.
Yeah.
Like I feel like everybody was so good. All right,
But
Alexis.
and then Alexis super sweet. Was she the first one at the table read? I think she was, wasn't
Yes.
she? Yeah, I remember I don't think I was too early. I remember just
Because I
being a
wasn't.
little.
I was expecting you to be the first one.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah, she
I
beat
wish
me.
I want Devin or I want Jonah to be the first one
I'm
here.
coming for you, Alexis. I will be the early bird
But
that
she
gets the
was.
worm.
Oh my God, Alexis is gonna be on the show in a few weeks, and
Hmm.
she has a great story. Um, but oh my gosh, she's so talented.
Yeah, no, it was really cool getting to talk to her. I got to indulge. She got to indulge a little bit of my obsession with the two-headed twins. I talked about that a little bit. She tolerated it, which I always appreciate. But no, and then the few times I got to see her on set, she's super nice. I remember she even I think you made them watch Clyde
Yep.
against their will, and she talked about she was asking about stuff and everything. So she definitely is invested and she cares, and
Oh,
I always
very.
appreciate it. And she has a cool dog.
Oh yeah. Uh, Taos. Taos is the name.
Taos. Okay, I was like, was that another actor? I don't know who
No,
that is. That was a
Jesse.
dog.
What do you think about
Jesse.
Jesse?
Jesse was another one I didn't get to have too much of a conversation with and everything, but he definitely is very prideful in his experience and everything. Like he definitely like he likes talking about it for sure. And when I listened to him, I was just like, oh, that's very interesting the stuff that he's gotten to do and everything. But him I didn't get to talk to so much, but he
Hey,
seemed
that
really
one
nice.
scene that he's in, that big scene. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes. Wait, was I? I'm not in that big scene.
No, you're not in this big scene.
Okay, I was gonna say was the
It's
big scene with me?
towards the end.
I'm every big scene, baby. But yes, I know what you're talking about now.
He
Yes.
was phenomenal. I
Hmm.
remember at the premiere, Alexis was sitting next to me, and her friend was next to her, and her friend looks over and she's crying, and I kind of like
Hmm.
laughed. I was like, "Really?" She's like, "He did so good."
Yeah.
And I'm so proud of Jesse. Jesse's phenomenal. I went and saw him when he performed as Victor Frankenstein for his play. It was after the premiere.
Yep.
I went and did that for him because he drove all this way for me. I was going to drive out there for him,
Hmm.
and he invited
It's really
me.
cute.
And
Yep.
so I was like, I'll go and support him.
He invited all of us, but whatever.
He did invite all of us, but no one showed up.
I
And you were
was
free.
busy.
No, you weren't.
I had a
You,
wedding.
you were live at that time, which we'll get
Was
into
I
later.
live?
Yes.
Wait, wait, was I? Okay.
I don't think so, honestly. I don't remember. I'm just trying to start drama.
I don't stream on the weekends.
But yeah, Jesse's great. All right, your best friend, Devin.
Devin was really cool. Devin and I had a lot in common. Like he very much likes the Devil May Cry series. Anybody who watches my streams and sometimes get to see my wallpaper on my computer will see a Devil May Cry wall screen saver and all that and everything. So I remember. Okay, so this is a funny thing that a lot of them did when you announced the cast for the film. I remember you announced it and everything, like, oh, Michael's playing this part, Lex is playing this part, blah, 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 blah. And then, like, 20 minutes later, I get, like, a couple of people following me. And I was like, who the flying hell's following me? I don't like people. And I look, and it was Michael, Jesse, and I think Alexis, and then Devin. And I saw Devin, like, he was dressed up as the main character from the Devil May Cry series. I was like, is he really? Like, wait, what? What the hell? Like, and I looked, and it was a sketch and everything, or I think it was a sketch. I don't know what it was, but like, so before I met Devin, I knew because of the Devil May Cry thing. I was like, oh, we're gonna have something in common.
Mm.
And then in between the shoots, the day that we shot, I remember him and I were very much into the same music and artists, so that was really cool. So Devin and I got along as far as that kind of stuff goes. Devin was cool.
Yeah, Devin's great.
And Devin was phenomenal in being willing to drive 3 hours.
I know. So is Alexis.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yep.
Alexis, you get kudos too.
Yep.
And
And
your dog.
I asked them,
Yep.
Are you willing to do this?
Hmm.
I'm not paying for your hotels, all that. And they're like, yeah.
Hmm.
We read the script. We love it. Let's go. I'm like, okay.
Let's go.
And then lastly, Sunit. What do you think about Sunit?
Sunit, she has a phenomenal screen. Once again, Sunit was someone I barely got to do anything with, like
You
talk to
never
her.
showed up
Whatnot.
to set.
I never showed up to set, you know? I just was too good for it.
I
But
did.
Sunit,
I think I did invite you to
yes.
come on set and like help
Yes.
and do stuff and like be
Yes.
involved, but you were like, nah.
I said I'm too good for this shit.
Yeah, you did.
Bye bye. I was in Tulsa King, bitch.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
dude.
but yeah, no, I remember like so I didn't really get to have too much of a offset experience with her and everything, but I remember her scream in the movie
It's really
was
good.
freaking awesome. I remember you telling me it was awesome. I was like, yeah, Trent, shut up, shut up, shut up. And then we watched the movie. I was just like, no, that was a good scream. That was a really
It's
good
really
scream.
good.
I can't do that scream. Therefore,
I
it is
I
good.
can't either.
Yeah.
I remember when we did it. We had people like driving up and down the streets
Hmm.
and asking us, "What are you guys doing? Oh,
Hmm.
making a movie." And they're like, "Was that you?" And she's like, "Yeah, sorry." She's like, "Whoa!"
Yeah.
And
I'm sorry. By the way, I had a scream in the movie too. I had a phenomenal scream. Not as good as
oh
hers
my
though.
gosh, you did have a scream.
I did have a scream, and my scream was freaking baller. And
It was
I'm
pretty
pretty sure
good.
we got the cops called on us because I remember about 10 minutes afterwards there were sirens.
There was
I'm
sirens.
not even kidding about that. There were sirens, and I was just like, oopsie. Well, because we did it like dark. Was it like 9 p.m. or something
It
crazy
was
like that?
around 9 p.m. But I
Yeah.
wasn't
So
worried because I
yeah,
went to the
yeah.
neighbors and I said, "Hey,
Yes.
we're filming. If you have an issue, just come out and talk to us. Don't call the cops."
Yes. So I remember you told us that. So I was like, okay, so the neighbors know what's going
I
on.
said,
You're
"Just
like,
do it."
yes. And I just was like,
I think we even
so
had neighbors pretty far watching us.
yes. Yeah. And so I got to have my premiere scream
Yeah.
too. I will say in the sound department though, it is a little overshadowed by Jordan's awesome music. So I'm gonna hold that over against Jordan because he's meanie pants.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, yeah. So Sunit had a really good scream, and honestly, like kudos to her. Like, I mean, you initially, I remember her character not having too much to do. Eventually, you did give her more, but
Yep.
before you gave her more, she was totally willing to do it, and I was just like, that's awesome. Like,
Yeah. We had
you couldn't even get a friend to do this, and she's willing to do this.
we had her. It was really that one line.
Yes.
Originally, she wasn't gonna be mic'd up at all for the diner scene stuff in
Hmm.
the beginning. Um, and I was like, I feel bad that you're just striving all this way for just like one line, so I'm gonna try to add more.
Hmm.
I gave her one of the best deaths. I think.
Yep.
I feel like it's one of the best.
Yeah.
Um.
If I don't take it, yeah, then hers.
Okay. Well, you got beat to death. Okay.
It was awesome.
But yeah, I just felt I was just like I gotta give her more, and she was great. You know, I'm very thankful for
Hmm.
her. She forgot her poster.
Oh,
I think she forgot her poster, and I was
I'll
very
take
upset. I was
it.
like, "We're come back," and she was already gone.
Yeah.
So this was the first movie we actually had a full on premiere for.
Yes.
For Clyde, it was just at my house, just hanging out, ordering some
Hmm.
food. This one
Yep.
we sold tickets and
Yes.
was like, what did you think about that?
That was really cool. I think it definitely like the whole idea. So give context of the premiere was it was outside projector screen, all that stuff and everything. So the idea of the 50s old school, you go to the drive-in movie theater and everything, you got a little bit of that. So you definitely fit the vibe for that aesthetic, which
Yeah.
was really cool. Definitely the whole like getting tickets and us advertising and like I don't I'm trying to remember what I initially thought of the whole idea of like I forget was 50 the cap of
So
people?
people, it was 50,
Okay.
but we went over 50,
Yes.
and I was stressing. I was like, shit,
Hmm.
we're at 50. Like, and I remember calling Jeremy, who was in charge of the restaurant.
Yep.
I was like, hey, we're gonna have 50 people. Is that okay? He's like, get 70,
Hmm.
get 100. I don't care. We'll make room.
Yeah.
And then once we had the people there, 50 plus people, it was 56 people, I think. We still had a
Yes.
lot more room. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
we could have done 100 if we wanted to.
Hmm.
But yeah, we had I think it was 57 people. Um, we had posters made, which we'd never done
Yep.
that before.
Yes.
Where's your poster, by the way?
It is at the DJ office,
Oh yeah, did
framed.
you hang it up over there, right?
Yeah, it's over. Yeah, it's hung up.
Yeah, mine's like on my bed. It's framed now. It's
Wow.
framed. I just trying to find a place to put it.
Wow.
I was trying to find a place to put it.
That has my autograph, you know. You're
It
devaluing
does.
it.
It has my autograph too, and that makes it more expensive.
Yeah, if you turn out to be a serial killer.
I hope
I
so.
remember. Okay, hold on. I remember saying that when we were signing the autograph. So Alexis, Michael, we're all there and everything signing it, and they're just like, "Yeah, you never know. This might be really fit. This might be really expensive and valuable one day and everything." And I'm signing. It's like, "Yeah, if one of us turns out to be a serial killer," it just dead quiet. I
Dude, I
just
don't
was
think
like,
anybody heard you.
no, no, they did. They're like, Jonah, you trying to tell us something? I was like, no, like, do you know how expensive like a
It's pretty
Marilyn
expensive.
Manson autograph goes for? Like, I'm just stating the fact. I'm not
And plus,
premeditating anything.
I wasn't gonna do posters. I asked Michael to draw the poster up,
Hmm.
and it was gonna be like for IMDb letterbox stuff, right?
Yes.
Or like in promotion. I'd never thought about printing them out and giving them out. And then I thought to myself, well, this is my first feature.
Hmm.
I want the cast to have something that is pretty cool. Their names
Yeah.
are on it. Um, it was a project that was really cool and very different to things nowadays. And so I was like, all right, I'll
Hmm.
print them out. And originally it was just gonna be for the cast.
Yep.
And then I don't know who told me. I think it was it Michael or Lindsay? I don't remember who, but they're like, we should sell these. And so we had the bundles, the director bundle, which was the poster and the movie ticket.
Hmm.
I have a whole more stack over here that we might just sell. Um,
That's right. I gotta pick one up for me to hang up here.
yes, and I have it right here. It's like right
Hooray.
behind me, honestly.
Yep.
Uh, but I just like I remember doing that, and I was like, in my head, I'm like, no one's gonna buy this.
Mm.
No one's gonna buy tickets to this. They don't,
Hmm.
because at the time we didn't have a trailer yet.
That's right. I
We
keep forgetting about
we
that.
only had pictures. So I
Hmm.
was like, people have to trust these pictures, and because I was thinking to myself, I don't want to release a trailer yet. I want to release it beginning of 2025 because the movie won't be out till that year.
Hmm.
And we were just doing that, and people had to trust it, and we got a good crowd. Everybody was very supportive.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, so 50 was the cap and everything. You told me that, and I was like, I think we could get 50 with all the cast and all that.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like with indie projects like this and everything, like especially in the humble beginnings, like a lot of it is by friends.
Hmm.
You get a lot of more, you get more attention to it by the friends of the people involved and everything, and that's where you have to start. And like that was a really good beginning for sure
Yep.
for a feature film was to get that many people.
It was.
I
And
was I was
I was,
shocked.
I was like, I don't know if you saw me. I was so nervous.
I think you all were nervous. Michael was probably the most nervous one, though. I
Michael
will
was
say,
Michael was scared.
Michael didn't even sit down. I
Michael
remember
was like
that.
hiding.
Yeah, Michael was pacing back and forth, and he was just,
I remember getting
and
my
looking.
food. I was the last person to get food because I was
Mhm.
checking people in. I was mingling with people and everything.
Yes.
And my food sat there right there next to the projector. And
Yep.
I didn't even I watched. I was just focused on the movie.
Mhm.
And I'm like, I'm hoping, come on, no mistakes, no mistakes. I watched this like 100 times. I'm not looking at anybody next to me. My
Mhm.
friend Caleb's behind me,
Mhm.
and we have the big attack stuff, and he's like, "Whoa, that was really cool." And I'm hearing people whispering, and there's one scene that I was very upset about, but I think it was the projector that did it. It was the shadow.
Yep.
The projector ruined that. The digital version, you could see it perfectly.
Yeah. I will say, like that was something like I in my head thought I was just like, I think the projector is getting in the way of some of this
And
lighting
a lot of
stuff.
people said the projector got in the way. Because when we did the virtual one, people were like, "Oh, we can see it." Oh,
Hmm.
but I was just sitting there like, oh, please, 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 like, and movie ends and everybody's applauding. I have to go do a talk now,
Yep.
and
I booed at you.
you did boo at me,
Yeah.
which really humbled me, honestly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just like I was like, you gotta have haters along with the
I
fans.
do,
And I was right there, front row,
you were,
in my
but
little mini lawn chair.
yeah, that's right. You
That
had
that
like,
that that has nothing to do with you. That's that. I wouldn't mind. I think the story of me getting to the premiere is kind of interesting. But
what is that?
okay, so initially for the premiere, remember you wanted cast and crew to come help set up
Yeah,
and everything, and Uh, I am a DJ, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a event DJ, and people get married on the weekends, and so it ruins my weekends. So I had a wedding to work that day that I couldn't get out of. Like I tried giving enough notice. They were just like, we're short on staff. You are the greatest DJ in the world, Jonah. You have to go do it. And
that's right. You had to work it.
long story short on this part and everything, but initially we had an agreement. Me and the company was to get someone else to cover the dance party portion of it, so I could make it in time for sure for the movie. I wouldn't be able to help with setup and everything. So and I don't think I told you this yet, but so I got there, and the guy who was supposed to take over was supposed to show up like super, like he was supposed to show up same time as me, so he could just understand like what to do afterwards.
Yep.
He doesn't show up. I call him, he doesn't pick up. Call my boss. I'm like, hey, he's not here. And then the guy who's supposed to replace me, messaged me like, hey, I'm a little late, but don't worry, I'll be on my way. And he kept on like updating me like okay, I'm 40 minutes away, I'm 20 minutes away, blah 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 blah, and he wasn't there. And like after like there's spare the details, but like I finally called my boss. I was like, yo, you have anybody else? He's like, I have this brand new girl who has done absolutely nothing. I was like, don't you worry, I will essentially put this on a playlist and push shuffle for her, so all she has to do is stand there, you
Yeah.
know.
Because I was like, you text me like, "Hey, I'm gonna be late," and I'm like, "All right, I need you here."
Hmm.
You're the only one who's been at two movies of mine, and if anybody I can look at and tell me the real stuff was
Hmm.
you.
Yep.
Because I had a whole plan. If I was like sitting here getting stressed out, I was gonna look at you and be like, "What did you think?" and be
Hmm.
honest. And and the movie, I feel like everybody loved it.
Yeah, everyone had a really
You
good
made it in
time.
time. I was super happy.
Yeah.
You got food, I think, right?
Yes, I did get food. And okay, so my friend Sadworm, my artist, yeah, what's up? My artist Sadworm and also my friend, they came to the movie. You met Sadworm, and
Hmm.
they were like, are they gonna have chairs? And I was like, don't bet on it. You should probably get a couple and everything. And they're like, okay, don't worry. So they're at Walmart, and they're like, God, some of these chairs are expensive, and they get this dinky little lawn chair for the both of us, so two lawn chairs, and they are made for 5 year olds. So I am just sitting there in the most uncomfortable position and all that. And I remember after the movie, they were like, all right, well, thankfully I kept the receipts. So I'll go return this. And I was like, if you were going to return these, why didn't you just get the better ones?
Exactly.
And they were like, oh, I didn't even think about
Because
that.
we, I all the projector, the screen, uh, everything that we bought for this, we immediately returned.
Really?
Yeah, I
Okay.
didn't keep it.
I suppose I never did figure that out.
I just
I never
returned it.
asked.
I got my
I
money
just,
back for that.
I thought you borrowed it from somebody.
No, the speaker I borrowed,
That's right. Yeah.
and the microphone was mine.
Yes.
And I mean, I'm very thankful for that venue that what he did for us. He was in the Jeremy,
Yes.
uh, nearly famous hamburgers and hot dogs. Shout out to them. They
I
really
got their
came
lemon pepper
clutch.
wings.
They came in clutch. Like
Yes.
so, originally we were gonna go with that restaurant next door.
Oh,
We were like, hey, I like your aesthetic here. We want to be in a movie, and they never got back to me.
punks.
So I went next door, because I left, went home, and I remember seeing that.
Cried.
I did. I remember seeing Nearly Famous, and I was like, hey, let me email them, and they didn't have an email, so I messaged them on Facebook, and he replied, come up today, come on, let's talk. I
Mm.
went up there and I talked to him, and he was super supportive, and he goes, you had me at horror film, and I was like, bet. And so we got that location, and he trusted us. You weren't there for most of the shots at night in the restaurant.
No,
He
no.
let us lock, like he gave me the key to lock
Hmm.
up. Um,
You made a copy. Yep.
I made a copy. Uh, I've been going in there every night, taking stuff. uh,
Taking what they've thrown away.
they throw it away. They've. I'm just sneaking out money out of them.
And
Um, but they're so great, and the food, they provided food for everybody.
hmm.
Um, but yeah, I don't know if we're gonna do another premiere like that again. If
Okay.
if the cast wants it, we'll do it again. That was the most stressed I've ever been in my life, and I made the
Yep.
movie. Because it's like it's different. Like it's different if it's just the cast and crew.
Yeah.
If it's just us, like it was seven actors:
Hmm.
Jordan, Sam, Miguel, the restaurant owner, my parents, and then it was like if that's it, I'm fine. If it's bad, they can tell me it's bad. But now it's uh Michael's friends, Lindsay's friends,
Hmm.
Alexis's actor friends,
Hmm.
uh your
Alexis's
friend,
dog. Yeah, my friend.
uh it was just like people I don't know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh boy, if it sucks, they're gonna just they're gonna judge me, and I'm never gonna get make a movie ever again. And luckily, everybody liked it. I mean, I hope so. You know,
Yeah.
but yeah, Vermin Within was a very interesting project.
I did almost go on like IMDb. I think yeah, I think you said something at the end. There was like go on there, you can review it, la di da di da, almost as a joke. But I just was like, no, that don't. Your humor sucks sometimes, Jonah. Like almost as a joke, I almost gave it like the lowest score just to be
Oh,
like, not
please
enough, not
don't.
enough, Jeff. But like make it my name so like it's obvious. But I just was like, nope, nope, leave it
Yeah,
alone. Don't do that. Don't cross that.
I would have asked you to delete it
Oh, lame.
because if you give it one, if it has only 1 star, it bumps it all. That
Yeah,
becomes
yeah,
the
yeah.
entire
No.
thing.
I know. I
Like
I stopped
on,
myself.
let's see, hang on Letterbox. You know what Letterbox is, right?
It is a box with letters.
Yep. My movie Clyde,
Oh,
because some people went in there and like messed with it. Like,
messed with it?
yeah, like we have a lot of 1 stars.
No way. Really?
We have a few 5 stars, so there you can see it. Like one, and then like,
Oh my gosh, I gotta check this out.
and like I was like, why are people? What did I do? And I got a few 4 stars. People were 3 stars. Like, don't get me wrong, it's not a 5 star, 4 star. It's definitely a 2.5 to 3. But I was like, oh, okay, and that bumped us down a lot.
Oh, dude, I almost crap my pants here for a second. I saw Letterbox Vermin 2024 directed by Jonah Howell. I was like, wait, I read the first part of it. I was like, wait, what?
But
I'm
yeah,
trying to find it.
the reviews like go a long way. Like if you're gonna review the films,
Different day.
don't joke. Like
Yeah, no.
with my
That,
podcast, we have
yeah.
a few joke reviews from like my friends from back in high school on
Hmm.
Apple Podcasts, and it bumped our podcast down to where we're not getting any viewage, and I had to work to get that back up. And I've never forgiven
Oh.
them for that. So like,
They can't go back and like,
no, because we're not friends anymore.
oh,
So now they're like, yeah. So like, I always tell people to,
so
you could
that's how
tell
you
me in
get rid of Trenton
person.
out of your life. All
If you
right.
actually think that movie's bad, then yeah, review it. But like, don't joke.
No,
You know what I
I
mean?
see. Yeah.
So another thing that
Okay.
Jonah does here is that he streams on twitch.tv/JRC the boy.
The boy with an I, ladies and gentlemen, not a Y.
So let's talk about streaming.
Okay.
You stream quite a bit. You
Yeah, yeah,
play
yeah,
the
yeah.
whole games. You know, I wish I
Yep.
could sit down and do that. I wish I can do that again.
Mhm.
Um, what like why? Why do you stream?
Why do I stream? So stream. It obviously was just one of those things where, God, it feels like just a lot of things once they take off. It's just like I
Hmm.
should have done it sooner. It's just the idea of like playing games and possibly making a bit of money off of it seems really cool. That was one aspect of it, not my main goal. One of the goals is like one of the intentions is that like a lot of the people who do watch me are my friends,
Yeah.
like my personal friends. So a lot of it's just like hanging out with the boys as much as I can, and I get a few random people who also fit the vibe and join and be a part of it.
I'm in there.
You are in there, yes, and you've even been part of the streams
I
and
have.
everything when we did Jackbox and
Oh
it
my
got
gosh.
super racy, which was
I had to delete that
I know
VOD.
so context of this story, ladies and gentlemen, is we played Jackbox, Party Box, or whatever,
Yep.
and there was one of the games, I don't remember what it's called. It's the one where you write rap lyrics and everything. And we were having a really good time in the beginning.
We
Yes,
were.
we were saying some semi-edgy stuff and everything, but
We were
nothing to get canceled
nothing
over and
like
everything.
nothing racist. I think
Nothing
homophobic.
racial, homophobic, no,
We
none of the
we it
phobias.
was jokes directed towards us.
Yes.
Like I think a lot of jokes that we would get.
Yes.
A lot of like me being a bad director.
Yes, me
Being a
being
bad
a good actor.
actor.
That was a really big
Not a
joke.
good
It's like,
actor.
haha.
Bad.
Yeah, the
Bad.
joke is
Very
me being a
bad.
good actor. Yeah. And so it was going very well. Like we even had, and then
We had a good viewage too
we had a really good viewage. I remember
because
it was
because
somewhat
we dual
most,
streamed.
yeah, we dual stream, and we also like I got like I think it was at certain points I had like some of the most views I've ever had consistently,
Yep.
which was like 20, which is mind blowing to me. And some in with Jackbox, people can see the code to enter the game. So some people entered the game, and some people took advantage
Yes.
of it, and it went super racist, super fast. I'm not gonna lie, I laughed at some of it, but I also
I laughed at
realized
some of it too.
this is not Twitch appropriate. This is not what I'm trying to convey as far as like what you're gonna get here and everything. So eventually, we did have to fix it and everything. I remember those dudes clipped some of them, and I'm not gonna lie, I do wish I would have downloaded it, but I went and I got rid of it. So
Yeah.
sad.
I was streaming at the point I was on Twitch, Twitch, YouTube, and no, I was not on Twitch. I was only on YouTube at that point.
Yeah, I think you were doing YouTube.
And we had a lot of people coming in from YouTube.
Yes.
I think the majority of people found my stream first.
Okay, it's not a competition, but okay.
No, but I'm saying like a majority of them were chatting in mine, and then something
Yes.
happened, and then they went to you.
Yes, that's
And,
right. I do remember that.
Uh, dude, it got so offensive so
Yeah,
quick.
it's so offensive, so
We
quick.
had people joining us in the beginning, and they were following
Yeah.
the rules. Like, hey,
Yeah,
don't.
and they were participating to a understandable level.
And it was funny. Like, we had some funny stuff. And then they just start.
Yeah. They just I mean, I'm a former edgelord that sneaks out from time to time and everything and all that, and I just looked at it, I just like, yeah, this would be some of the stuff I would be doing when I was 17.
Yeah. But yeah, I
That was
had
a
to take
long
mine
time ago.
down. It was just an interesting night. So, what has been the best game you've played on your stream?
Best game. So as far as I guess I can go for a couple of categories. I think the best game I ever streamed, where I think a lot of the people, where I enjoyed it as much as the viewership enjoyed it, was probably Zelda Majora's Mask.
Mm-hmm.
That was just something I think a lot of people love Zelda. I think my reaction to the annoyance of the game, because one of my this is I'm gonna get into the technical stuff of what I did for my stream. So how I streamed that game was I plugged the game into my television, and I had a converter to go into my computer. What I
Mm.
didn't realize with it is that on the computer screen, there is a delay.
Yep.
There is like a split-second delay, and I didn't realize that for that entirety of that game. So a lot of that game, I was getting super frustrated and annoyed with it, and a lot of people were enjoying my anger. So as far as, but I still was having fun with it. It's Zelda. You can't have a bad time with Zelda.
Yeah. Do you have a dual monitor setup?
Yes.
So, are you still going from a TV into your computer?
When I'm doing retro stuff, yes.
Okay. I after this episode,
Okay.
I'm gonna give you some advice because I just
Let's.
found this out,
Okay.
and it made it 10 times better.
All
There's
right.
no delay. You're putting
No
it
delay.
into the other monitor, like you're putting it through OBS,
Okay.
and then you take the screen instead of having your face cam in there. You
Yes.
take the screen and you full screen just that onto the other monitor. So you're still capturing it,
Yeah.
but it's for you to see now.
Okay.
And audio, you just plug it into your headphones through your computer.
Okay.
I'll have to show you how to do that because
All right.
when I found that out, game changer.
Game changer. Yes.
I was like, oh my gosh, I don't have to have a wire going through my whole room here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll go through that with you later.
Sure.
I think one of your best things is when you do retro stuff. Honestly,
Yeah. No. It's definitely a love of the old games and everything, and it's just the familiarity of it. The newer stuff when it comes down to single player, I like playing single player games, like even the newer stuff like Elden Ring. That was fun for people to watch, and I enjoyed it. But there's just other stuff like, I don't know. Like, I think technically the best game to stream right now is probably Marvel Rivals or whatever.
yeah,
I haven't played it. I don't know what it
it's
is
fun.
exactly. It looks like Overwatch to
It
me,
is.
and that probably is like the best idea. But it's just I'm not into that kind of stuff anymore. I'm not really into
No,
competitive play like that.
play what you want to play. That's what I've always said. You
Yeah,
know,
and that's the tough thing. It's like play what I want to play, but there also is a whole another idea of like play what people would like to watch too.
what I used to do because I used to stream on Twitch.
Yep.
I don't anymore because I just don't like how it works.
Okay.
I would research games that had views.
Mhm.
So obviously your Fortnite, COD, GTA, all those are going to be 100,000 plus views throughout multiple
Yes.
streams. And you're a small guy, so you're going to be on the bottom. Yeah, I said it. So what I would do is
I'm a top.
I'd find games that had viewers, but like 100 viewers,
Yeah,
500 viewers, and then
yeah.
I'd play those games,
Mhm.
hoping that those streamers would just raid me.
Yeah, yeah. So I will say one of the best times I think I got into that smaller viewer count per the game and everything, better odds you get random people coming in. I think it was Titanfall 2. I don't know
Great
why I
game.
was playing Titanfall 2. It's a good game. I don't know why, but I was just playing it and I was getting quite a bit of random people.
Do people want? I think people that game's gonna come back. I think it will.
Problem is with that game is the
Mine was
servers are being sabotaged, so that's
yeah.
that's tough.
I think my game was it was I think it was Pokemon Fire Red before it got popular.
Mm.
Because I remember
Before Pokemon got popular,
yeah,
Ridge
before
Shredding?
Pokemon
Oh,
became a thing.
yeah, okay.
But no, during like I think it was like years ago. There weren't that many people playing it and watching
Mhm.
it, and I'd play it and I'd get a couple views in. Um, I think a couple indie games
Mhm.
were my thing too. I just stopped streaming because I didn't know how to be entertaining live.
I get what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
They're definitely. I think so. To go back to even that Jackbox thing, because it wasn't just you and me. It was also my homie Gambino.
Yeah.
But I one of my I think, and a lot of people pointed this out to me, is one of the best things when I stream is when I either have like a live chat going, like actual people there talking and adding to it, or also having someone else either play with me or just be in
Yeah.
commentary with me. Because I mean,
That's when I found
I'll
it more
go.
fun.
Yeah, I'll go back and I'll watch the streams where it's just me and there's just me just going,
Not the
it's
breathing.
just yeah, just breathing, and I just like, why aren't you talking, you idiot? Like I
I
understand you're
think
focused.
yeah, my best streams that I've had was playing golf with your friends. My friend Jeff, Tekken at the time, that was his name. And oh my gosh, because I would get so mad.
Hmm.
I'd bang on the tables and
Yep.
I'd get engagement from that.
Yeah.
But like now, I just don't find it fun. I'd rather make videos and edit. You
Mm.
know, I just it's very different. Have you thought about doing a YouTube channel?
Um, I showed you my really old one a long time ago where it was semi storytelling plus some really crappy reviewing of movies.
Bring it back. Oh wait, I
My
do remember that.
Yeah, because it actually influenced one of your videos not too long after. Because I remember because part of the
Which video?
it was one of the story videos. I think it was the one where I talked about the time I was trying to be a waiter and it failed really bad. It turned out not being what I wanted. And the thing what I did with those videos where it was me talking, but the I made really crappy
Oh, I
cartoons
know
to
what you're talking about.
visually representing what I was talking about, which I remember I did like two of them, and I do feel like had I continued with it, I might have maybe gotten a better grind of it. But I remember like just watching them, and I remember telling my friends like, "Oh, you should watch it," and they just weren't interested in it. And I just be like, you know what? If I was just some random Joe going around, I probably wouldn't watch them either. So that's kind of why I stopped.
Yeah.
And the bad reviews, I just was one of I watch a lot of review stuff on YouTube, and some of the worst reviewers to me is the people who tell the entirety of the
I hate it.
movie, and that's what I did.
Because I did a review video recently about Craven the Hunter,
Okay.
and I got some pretty good views on it. And I didn't mention the whole movie. I was
Hmm.
just telling people this movie's shit,
Yeah.
and I described some scenes and do all that. But like some review channels, man, they're just like describing the entire. They go from minute minute zero
Yep.
all the way to the hour 59 or hour 30 or 2 hour 14.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I did. I remember telling myself a long time ago when I was doing that, I was just like, I'm picking movies where people who would watch these reviews because they were notoriously bad movies,
Yeah,
and it's just like people who are seeking out these reviews are people who've already seen it.
yeah.
So like, what's the point of
Or they're
not telling the
people
whole movie?
seeing the movie on a streaming
Yeah,
app and be like, "What is this about?" and
yeah.
YouTubing it and
Yeah,
doing
too bad
that.
I couldn't articulate myself that well back then. I was just
Yeah,
like, it is. I remember one of the movies was Love on a Leash. You heard of that one?
Love on a Leash.
It's a movie where this girl falls in love with this dog who turns into a human.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so that's the movie, and I didn't go into like the details of like the structure of the movie or anything. I just went over just like this is stupid. She's in love with a dog. What sex position would they have? And everything. Just really just not very constructive stuff and everything. Like there's being funny and there's being constructively funny, and I wasn't being the constructive thing.
Yeah. It's hard, I definitely want to bring back. I had an old podcast where we would commentate over movies, and I want to
Oh,
bring it back, but I need like somebody else to do it with me.
oh,
So, who knows? Maybe we'll do something like that. All right. Speaking of movies,
all
I like
right.
to ask all my guests, what is your Letterbox top four? So Letterbox, if you guys don't know what Letterbox is, we're not sponsored. I just like watching their videos about this. They ask
Well,
people.
explain this check. No, I'm kidding.
They usually have like actors or directors on, and they tell them their top four movies.
Mm,
Because on Letterbox you have your top four favorites.
top
For
four. Okay.
reference, mine, I'll tell
Okay.
you my top four.
It's always changing.
Actually, this is stay the same now.
Oh, okay,
This is
good.
this is locked in. So number one is the 1990s live action TMNT movie, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles,
The first one?
the first one.
Okay.
Pure nostalgia reasons. That's why. I
Okay.
remember ruining the tape on the VHS tape for that movie because I just love
Fair
it.
enough.
It's such a good
Yep.
movie. Creature of the Black Lagoon is next.
Okay. Yeah.
I just liked it. I just like it inspired this movie, The Vermin, a lot, and you can look at it in different ways. You can look at it as a monster movie, but you can also look at it as a love movie, love story,
Hmm.
and it's a very good movie. The Breakfast Club.
Okay.
I
Okay.
I I remember my days where I was like after high school, and I recorded the Breakfast Club on TV, and I would just rewatch it over and over again on like a single day
Okay.
because I was just bored. I didn't know what to do. And then
Hmm.
lastly, it's this movie called Baghead. Have you heard of Baghead?
No.
Let me tell you about this movie. So it stars uh, Barbie director Greta Gerwig.
Oh, son of a gun.
She's
Okay.
in this movie. Let me show you like there's a little.
Oh, is that new?
It's not new. It's from 2008. It's made by the Duplass brothers who did Creep.
Okay.
Have you heard that movie?
Yeah, I've seen both of them.
Yes. It's about a group of actors who are struggling to get into the acting game. So they've decided to direct, write, and act in their own movie. And basically, they do a horror film. And there's a huge twist at the end. And it's a bad movie,
Okay.
but it's entertaining.
Got it.
And the twist gets you. Like, here's my review. I go, had a great time watching this. Who would have thought that the Barbie director would do something like this? Anything made by the Duplass brothers, I will watch. Um, Great movie. I recommend it to everybody.
All right.
So now I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna ask you, Jordan, or let's call you Jordan. I miss
It's
Jordan
my
so much.
brother's name, man. You just triggered me so bad.
Wah. All right, Jonah. What is your top four movies of all time?
Top four movies. All right. Here we go. Let me just make sure I got this in my head. Okay. So number four,
Okay.
drum roll. Number four has to be
Now,
Eight Mile.
are these in order?
This is in order. So this is
Okay.
number four.
Number four, Eight
So,
Mile.
so number four is 8 Mile featuring Eminem. I honestly,
Great movie.
I'm an Eminem fan, obviously, but I also like if you look at the structure of the movie, like the hero's journey and everything, I feel like that movie does it really extremely well. Also, I like hip hop and I like Eminem. It was a lot of things put together that I was like, this movie's good on a lot of different levels for me. Love this movie. Number three, Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Good movie.
That movie is so cool. I laughed so hard at that movie. That movie's so funny. I like the action. And honestly, I remember I watched the movie before I read the comics. And I read the comics and it didn't like I mean there's seven or six comics of Scott Pilgrim and you can't fit that all in an hour and 40 minutes of a movie and everything. But what they did get into it though, I was like, I appreciate this movie because I've seen like Percy Jackson, the Lightning Thief. I saw the movie and I was like, oh, this movie's really good. And then I read the book and I was like, this movie's terrible.
Yeah.
So I didn't have that reaction. So the number three, Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Number two, V for Vendetta.
Oh.
Nice, superhero. I mean, superhero movie, but also just kind of. I'm not very political, but I also just kind of do like the political statement that it makes.
Mm.
So I always find that one kind of influential. And then number one is Dark Knight.
Oh,
That movie I've seen so many times. I have so many quotes for it. It is so freaking fantastic. Like I don't think they'll make another. Well, Robert Pattinson's the Batman was really good too, but there's just something about that movie as a kid because it was nostalgia. I saw that in theaters. I remember just walking into a casual like a Batman movie, and that bank heist scene in the beginning just already had me hooked in.
dude, great movie. And like, uh, also one of the best adaptations of the Joker,
Yes.
in my opinion. Um, I think honestly, like when people talk about the Batman, Robert Pattinson and Christian
Yes.
Bale, I kind of don't compare them. Here's
Hmm.
why. I think Robert Pattinson's Batman is younger, and
Hmm.
he's year two.
Okay.
I think they even confirmed that. So he's kind of younger. He's more brute. He's more of the detective in that movie.
Yeah.
Well, Christian Bale, he's more experienced. You know, he's already had. He's. I mean, I think year one was the Batman Begins,
Yes.
and then if you're talking about Dark Knight, which everybody goes to,
Hmm.
he's experienced now. Like he's so
Yeah.
experienced that he has people copying him,
Hmm.
and he's not really a detective in that movie. There's that one scene with a brick. He's
Yes.
like, he's just doing. That's it. That's
Which
the match.
I'm not gonna lie, that scene still confuses me to this day, but
Same, dude.
I just was like, wait a minute, we got a thumbprint off of a
A bullet?
bullet? Yeah. I that but But no, I agree with you. They are two completely different movies because I think a lot of people went into Robert Pattinson's The Batman with the wrong expectation, even though we know who the villain was. The villain was the Riddler. Riddler's not a fighty fight, all
No.
that. He is a mind game guy and everything. So it is going to take brain power for Batman to defeat him and everything. And I think a lot of people, just because they've seen all these Marvel movies and everything, were detailed stuff going on through a movie just isn't very interesting. They had the action and all that crazy stuff and the funny little wit jokes in the Marvel movies, and then they go see this Batman movie with Robert Patterson. It's like, why is there so much thinking? I don't like
Yeah.
thinking. This is
Yeah.
stupid. Fight, punch him. I want you to punch
And
him.
honestly, I like the cinematography more in the Batman too. That car chase scene
Yes.
is
Oh, the car chase scene's
is
awesome.
probably one of the best car chase scenes ever in a movie. I feel
Yes.
like the music makes it way more like you're sitting like, oh my god, like
Oh, Nirvana, man.
oh my gosh. But great movie, honestly.
Yes.
So you're four to recap: 8 Mile,
8 Mile.
Scott Pilgrim versus the World,
Yes. V for
V
Vendetta.
for I knew I was forgetting something, and then The Dark Knight.
Dark Knight. And then I also kind of want to make a honorable mention
Go
to
ahead.
Memento.
I've actually never seen it.
Dude, that honestly, I'm worried if you haven't seen it and you watched it now that you would watch it and you'd be like, I want to make something like this.
Why are you worried about that?
Because I don't think you'd be able to pull it
Oh,
off.
okay. I'm gonna watch the movie.
No, Memento, honestly, because it's Christopher Nolan. The
Okay.
movie is
Oh,
great.
he's
How the story is structured and everything blows my mind.
really.
I just am like they couldn't make another movie like this if they tried.
Hmm.
They can't do it. They can't.
No.
They can't fucking do it. Don't try. Don't do it.
Yeah,
Trenton, don't do it.
I'm gonna do it. No, I have ideas for my next film.
All
It's
right.
I think honestly it's gonna be time and I think budget is gonna be a key factor.
Okay.
But right now we're going through the film festivals with the Vermin.
Yep.
We're not doing so hot.
What do you mean?
So we've been in. So let me recap. Let me make sure I get the correct number real quick. That way I'm not saying false.
I'm not
False.
winning awards? Is that what you're telling me?
It's you. I'm getting notifications saying, dude, Jordan. I got a text from Jordan. That's why. Jonah Christian, really him.
Again,
So
they didn't learn?
so far we've been in 2 film festivals,
Two.
and they've said no, like not in consideration at all. We're supposed to be getting an update from one in about 9 days.
Okay.
I'm hoping this one we get in. And then we have 3 in April, 3 in May, 2 in July, and 1 in October.
Okay.
Why am I
Hey,
out of focus? Come on.
I don't know.
There we go.
Was that your version of the bro fist?
Yeah. Uh, and I've told myself, I go, if we don't get into at least 2 out of that list, I don't think we'll do festivals again.
Okay.
Because we made our budget back from the premiere. Like
Okay.
I'm not telling people how much we had, but it was a good amount.
$5.
It was at least that.
It was at least
I will
that.
tell you this: it was enough to make another movie
Okay.
and probably pay the actors. Like I'm doing that. Like we had a good amount, but we said I'm going to use it for film festivals. That's what I told people that we were going to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's not. If we don't get to 1, we're not going to do it again.
Well, you said it was just 2 so far, right?
See you so far.
Yeah, I mean, you know what they say about the Colonel, man. Good old KFC,
Oh
man.
no, what do they say?
Did you not know? Have you not heard the story of the Colonel?
No.
So when Colonel Sanders, the maker of KFC's Kentucky Fried Chicken of 49 whatever, what I might get that number wrong. He was before he had the recipe and he was going around to all these businesses or these people that could give him the money to start a restaurant and everything. And he went to like hundreds. He went over to hundreds and hundreds, making them fresh chicken right there and everything and all that. And they'd be like, we're not interested in everything and all that. They weren't interested in the Kentucky Fried Chicken that Colonel Sanders had made and everything. They said, no, we're not interested in this shit. Get out of my face. And then it only took one person to like look at it, eat it, and then be like, yeah, we can make this a $1 billion franchise and everything. Not exactly his words. I don't know what the
I think
man
that was
said.
his words.
That was exactly his words. So it's one of those things where sometimes when things are looking down on just a lot of different things, I just have to remind myself like it only takes like say for acting, whatever, or I'm still not represented by an agency or anything like that, but like so sometimes I have that like mentality is like I'll never get represented, and it's just like it only takes one agent to say yes,
Yeah.
to be like yes, we want you
Yeah.
and everything, and so it's just one of those. So like yeah, sure, 2 film festivals said nah and everything, but I mean, you got all these ones lining up and everything. And I mean, it's a good way to promote not
And then
only
we also have the film
the
coming out.
movie.
We have a film coming out in April.
Oh
The
yeah,
trailer's out. Go watch the trailer, guys. And
yeah.
link in the
I'm at the end
description.
of the trailer.
You you're in the trailer.
At the end. You see
No,
my goatee.
you're in there
I
twice.
looked for it. Oh wait, maybe you updated. I don't know.
No, you're
I'll
in
look
there.
again.
Your big scene's in there.
My big scene's in there. You say? Oh wait, I think. Oh my goodness. Sorry,
I think
Steven Spielberg's heading me up.
at least
Tell him I'm
every
talking about.
actor is in in the trailer.
All right. I'll go watch it again. I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, you're in it. Your big
Yeah.
moment's in there.
All right. But yeah,
go
no.
watch the trailer, guys.
With all that being said, I don't. I mean, if you get one, I mean, honestly, I mean, if your films are gonna get better, like as time goes on and everything, obviously you should go and still try to submit
Yeah.
as long as I'm in them,
Well,
because
you're gonna be my Bruce Campbell. You're gonna be,
that's guaranteed money
I mean, I'm gonna pay you like nothing, pennies.
as long as it's 2.
I'm gonna pay. I'm gonna pay you and spit in the face.
Oh, so my usual payment. Got it.
Okay, with that, guys, we're gonna end the episode. Jonah, thank you so much for being on today's podcast. 2 hours. 2 hours just went by. What do you think about that?
I have to go pick up my kids from school.
Oh my gosh, Jonah, go tell people where they can find you on social media and stuff.
You could find me on the Facebook, Jonah Christian and everything. You could say hi. You'd be like, hey, you're that guy in the podcast. I watched that podcast. You can find me on the Instagram at Jonah JRC. Follow me. I might follow back. I don't know. And then yeah, so the Twitch, you could find me at JRC the boy spelt with an I, not a Y. Yeah, and those are the places that you can find me dorking around.
Dorking around. Thank you again for being on the podcast, man. This has been
course,
a thing I've
thank
been
you for
wanting to
having
have
me.
for a while. We're gonna end it off, guys. Go watch the Vermin Within trailer. Link in the description on YouTube, on Chappell Media, and the Trenton Chappell channel. Follow us everywhere. Chappell underscore media, CHAPPELL underscore media. And
PP.
yeah. All right, guys. We will see you in the next one. Peace.